all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming, it's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Hey guys, welcome back. It is Tuesday night, the 18th of February, 2025, here on the East Coast of the United States. I'm just trying to type something here real quick. Give me a second here. Just trying to type something in here real quick. Yeah, there, got it. Look what I was looking for there. Just trying to find that. Okay, cool beans. All right, yeah, got what I was looking for. Thanks for tuning in, folks. 79 people at this hour. Listen, tonight it's free willing. It's like the Night Owls, except it's sunrise edition because it's morning in South Africa. Look, I took a couple hours away from the keyboard. I had to run around and do some errands earlier today. Pick up a ticket for a charity event for someone whose son passed away a long time ago. He was hit by a bus when he was a kid. Really sad story, but really great guy. Went to his house today to pick up a ticket because he brought it into town for me a couple times. I felt really bad that I didn't have the money to reimburse him for it, so just went and picked up the ticket today. Came back, took a little bit of time off, and I get inundated. Of course, the WhatsApps are coming in, the emails are coming in by the hundreds and unsolicited. Anyway, that's not the issue. People are upset about this video for this guy who ought to be, you know, in front of the South African Human Rights Commission and the Equality Court for his blatant, flat-out, horrific, racist garbage, which isn't even making the press in South Africa. I'll be making a video on that, but I have to be very careful because in South Africa, you got to be careful. If you publish something that a racist says who is a black supremacist, they'll come after you, even though it's simply reporting the news. So you got to be careful how you do it. So there'll be some bleeping and this, that, and the other, but it's unbelievable. So that one got my attention, and then there's this other one. That channel has 300,000 subscribers, and it's disgusting. The man says that white people are genetically inferior. He just first he's a moron. He doesn't know anything about Neanderthals and attributes Neanderthals to being some sort of brutish creature. This is a 19th century stupidity from Europeans who didn't understand the Neanderthals, one of the most successful species of hominids in the history of evolution, if you believe in evolution. Anyway, and then I somehow came across this video, yet another bullshit propagandist, black supremacist, racist video about Orania, and the guy can't even pronounce it practically. Rania. I went to Rania. I'm an American, hanging with Coop. I went all the way to Rania. It was a 9-hour bus ride. Rania. Afrikaners. Oh my God, it's sickening. And I sit here with a channel of 46,000 subscribers, and I watch these idiots, bigots, and racists, their propaganda and their shitty reporting, claiming to be reporters. It's just, it's annoying. You know, so anyway, I just thought I'd get that out of the way and get started here. I'll show you a little bit of each of these things as we go on tonight. Let's see if we get an audience tonight. I didn't advertise this stream until 5 minutes before it went live. I'm just doing a little test there. I posted it, what, 6 hours ago, so people should have been notified of it. And I have put it in the groups a few minutes ago. So we'll see how large the audience is. Last night, by this time, we already had about 200 people. So we're about half the place where we were last night. So anyway, look, the other reason I'm doing this tonight is a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. I think he's a good friend. I like to think he's a good friend. Lives in South Africa. A person who's dealt up close and personal with crime. In fact, he's the guy who, when my wine, I left at his house. I'd gone to a braai at Steve Hofmeier's house a couple years ago. And the Sightlanders had given me a leather satchel full of wine and brandwine that they gave me as a gift. And I'd left it there near Joburg with him at his house. And then after I left, I'd forgotten it there, and I never got back and got it, and it stayed there. Well, his home was broken into, and they stole all his stuff, his big screen TV and all his things. And fortunately, they didn't kill his dogs. That was a saving grace was happening there. But he followed the trail where they stole the stuff, walked down through the community, down to the bushes, down by the creek, and found my satchels there. They either forgot about it or they looked at it where it was stamped in leather, and it said Sightlanders and from Colonel to Vane and Tutoy, and they probably got scared. I don't know, but I have that back. It's the one thing that was recovered. But a great guy. I've known him for a long time, for years, before I was even doing this, because of my context in South Africa. And you know, I wrote to him earlier because I haven't heard from him. I said, "How you doing?" I said, "Are you keeping up with the refugee program?" And his response, and if you're listening, my friend, if you're listening, this is not targeting you. I'm just making a point about the propaganda. His response about the refugee program, he says, "What, do you mean the one for the farmers?" Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no refugee program for farmers. If someone who's educated, who's smart, whose adult children have had to go overseas and are incredibly successful overseas, and very smart in business, very, very erudite, if that's what that my friend believes, that tells you just how successful the propaganda has been in South Africa about this refugee program. There are no mention of farmers in the refugee program in the executive order. Not one mention of a farmer. And the fact that it's been turned into that, just like it's been turned into a white thing, there's no mention of white people either. The only mention, as I said before, is Afrikaners, and that's yet to be defined. And as I said, you know, it will likely be ethnic minorities, and that's probably what will happen, but we haven't got further guidance. But my point is that, hang on a second here. What's this? I just got a tweet. Oh, that's an old one. How did I just get that now? Guess he just tweeted. Yeah, it's amazing. So I do appreciate the growth, and I appreciate the OGs, original gangsters, those who have been with us here from the very beginning. But we have a long way to go. I mean, there are channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers spewing racial hatred and nonsense. And someone yesterday or earlier today said, I heard what Isak is saying about me, the bad things he's saying about me. What Isak was that? The person never confirmed what Isak they were talking about. Because I just done a video on Newspot a few days back with Isak, but I can't imagine that gentleman saying anything bad to say about me. So what Isak was that? And I didn't hear who it was. Yeah, Louis Render thinks the farm workers also think we're all leaving the farms. Yeah, that's going to lead to all kinds of process. Farm workers are going to think, well, it's my farm now. The whites are leaving. This is the problem with the news media in South Africa. They're irresponsible, and every one of them should have their license pulled because they're nothing but propaganda outlets, and they're causing great harm, and they will contribute to physical harm to people. No doubt about it. They're causing all kinds of problems. Yeah, I know Isak in the Boer League, and is he the one that said something bad about me? I don't know. I've interviewed him before. Is he the one that said something bad about me? Whoever heard, if anyone knows, I'd like to know what that was because it was never, I'm not going to disparage someone if I don't know who it was and go and check. And I'm curious about that. I'd like to know who's got something to say. Because if anybody has anything bad to say about me, they're just an evil person. What have I done in this broadcast? Have I called anyone names about this refugee program? Well, yeah, South African politicians, yes. I'm talking about people who may be considered part of it. Nope. Have I encouraged you to emigrate from South Africa? Nope. Have I encouraged you not to come to America? Nope. Have I told you that you're not welcome? No. Have I told you that it was a farmer only? No. Did I tell you that it was black people or white people or brown people? Nope. Didn't tell you any of that. All I've told you is the facts that as they appear before us and giving you the analysis, the reality. And so anybody that's got a problem with that is just an asshat. And I'll call them that to their face. I'll call them that to their face. So anybody hears anything negative, someone says, I'd like to know about it so I can call them out. And if it starts a Twitter or YouTube war, I'm happy to do that because people are being lied to. And if you're being told something bad about me over this refugee program, you're most likely being lied to. Okay, let's get to the chat. Javon Kelly, some say we won't be a minority in South USA because we're white, but we will identify identity as more than skin color. We have unique traditions as the Afrikaans communities building schools. Preserve heritage. Well, the people who say that are racist and bigots. The Amish are a minority. They're white. The Mennonites are a minority. They're white. Icelanders in America are a minority. They're white. And they're distinct communities. Now, that's a very small minority, Icelanders. Just a few thousand. Yeah, no, this is just stupidity and bigotry. A minority isn't a skin color. A minority is a small group of people, smaller than the majority. The fact that people call everyone who's white, white, and identify them as a single group shows bigotry and racism. Good morning, Vilma Lencrow. Welcome to you. Hendo's here. I'm really, actually, folks, last couple of days people say, why are you grumpy? I've been grumpy, but tonight I'm pissed off. I'm really pissed off at the reach of people who are just asshats. It just shows you how untalented people need to be to have successful programs on YouTube. It's unbelievable. Jean Velgamon, welcome to you. Okay, and Ellie, welcome. Gordon, hope you have an awesome day. Keep safe. Thank you, Chris, for your time. You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. Nicolene Lewis, welcome. Chris Marie, Bushfeld Butt, Vilma Erasmus, Jeske Zlotz, welcome back. Kioma Fenter, Francois Leroux, Zenda van Rensburg, Mickey's back. Hey, Mickey, Johan, good morning. I'm here for the song and the news. Yeah, that's Giselle. Yep, für uns Mensa. And so Bushfeld Boat wants me to play some Folk of Politica. Well, when you can get Francois van Kock to give me copyright to play his Folk of Politica or his own music, I would happily do it. Here Pretensi. I'd love to play that song. I would love that to be my theme song. Yep. That would be a lovely theme song. Unfortunately, I cannot play that because every time I get it, I'll get it a copyright claim or strike. So I have to be very careful. But yeah, in case you're wondering, I presume you probably think I don't know who Francois van Kolk is. That would be my guess. If that's your belief, you are mistaken. I have interviewed Francois van Kolk in person across a coffee table in Boston. Yep, in Belleville. Yep. So, yep. But I would love to play this song. This is one of my favorite songs. It's just incredible. It's kind of out of character for him, but he did it with Karen Zoid. What a great song. In Pretensi. Quite a great song. Yeah, I know who the Afrikaans rock band Foco Politica is, and I've known for some time. Yeah, I think a lot of people will be surprised to know what I know about South Africa. Anyway, but yeah, I've interviewed Francois van Kolk. I've actually been to a Francois van Kolk concert in Pretoria, and it was fucking amazing. Oh my God, Pretoria East. It was unbelievable. That was an off-the-hook concert. There was a girl who had Downs or something like that, who was in front of me in the row with her parents, and oh my God, that child loved the concert. She was so into it, so came out because of it. It was amazing. Yeah, no, it was a great concert. It was so full of energy, so cool. I really enjoyed it. And then at that concert, I was outside before the concert in the central area of the facility there, and walking around, and people recognizing me. It's at a Francois van Kolk concert. People recognize me. That's the time I finally began to believe what Ronaldo and others had told me, that people knew me in South Africa, and a lot of people knew me and appreciated what I was doing, because I was recognized sometimes, including by one of his band members, one of the alternate musicians who fills in. I think he plays bass or something like that. He was outside selling T-shirts and memorabilia and merch. And yeah, so yes, Francois van Kolk. Yep. Anyway, Jean Telfon here, and welcome to you. Shawnee Grows is back. Welcome, Shawnee. We hear a lot here, Shawnee. Thanks. Best Liki is in ons omstandige is die deur. Christoph is okay. Don't know that one. Rupert van Sittet, Suzanne van Fern, Johannes Pretorius, Carrie McDougall, Natasha Posthumous, Johan Pratt, Fouché Helps, welcome back. Gerard Wolf and Oket Nel, CC, hey, Abby. Many of us under the weather feel like I have babalas, but I can't even. Wow, that's a shame. Sorry to hear you're under the weather. Hope you're feeling better. And Divet Martins is back. It's natural for free men to fight tyranny and seek independence. Yes, Elmarie Mayer. Catherine Bernard says, Chris, you have done us no harm and have done nothing wrong. Those that attack you do so because, for some reason, it appears that they don't want the whites to take up the refugee opportunity. That's correct. That's correct. And see, here's the really comical part about it. If someone's attacking me who's white because they don't want people to take up the refugee program, then they're just silly too, because I'm not asking anybody to take up the refugee program. I'm simply reporting facts. And I'm not encouraging, I'm not discouraging, I'm agnostic on it. I would hope that people would not want to leave their homeland, and I'm not encouraging people. But I seem to be almost the only person who's taking that position. Yep. Lots of unhelpful wrong info on YouTube. At least you offer fact-based clarity. I do. Yep. Gates are coming, ANC ethno state gangsters. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ronaldo pointed that letter out. You know, I think I came across that letter, and for some reason I didn't run with it. But I wound up doing a video earlier today about that. And this is a letter from Congress. I'll read a little bit about that here today, too. This is from 4 Republicans in Congress. And I think the reason I didn't do it initially when I saw this a couple days ago was because it's 4 Republicans, and I discounted the impact of it. But then after Ronaldo mentioned it to me, I went back and reread the top portion of that letter. I realized that I should have skipped over that ethno-nationalist gangster regime in Pretoria line. That alone makes a video worth making. So I went ahead and made one. Thank you to Ronaldo for pointing that out to me. Again, sometimes you get enwrapped in what you're doing, and the obvious stares you in the face, but that's when it's obvious. But I am finding a lot of people are publishing content now that's hiving off of mine. Maybe accuse me of hiving off of Ronaldo's on that one, I suppose. Not really the case, but definitely got a prompt from Ronaldo to cover that one. So, hey, balls. Great interview with Trump and Elon Musk. Yeah, that's an interview he did days ago. I saw a part of it. Lots of unhelpful. Okay, got it. Okay. Believe in a very bumpy ride. Yes, we're in for a very bumpy ride. And we still don't have the hundreds of thousands of people on this channel watching it to get the true story. So Been following you and watched all your podcasts. You're factual, informative, very helpful. Thanks and so much. My first post, all my questions answered. Great work. Kruger statement, horsemanship. You're very welcome. You forgot to mention, dead sexy. You got to mention that. I'm too sexy for my cat. I know you know that. So be honest. Tell people I'm dead sexy. And just hilariously funny. Far funnier than Trevor Noah. Yes, the only reason I want you to stay is for their benefit. That's correct. It appears they believe that if we stay, that they will get the benefits back. And this is, I don't know about that. Oh, get the benefit. No, the aid's not coming back. See, this is the problem with the executive order. I would not have done the executive order in the fashion that he did it, because all it's done now is give people the belief that this is about, the Afrikaners. And I watched this vile, repulsive looking little twerp on YouTube. He's got 500,000 subscribers. Wow. And I'll show you a little bit about this clown here shortly so you know who I'm talking about. Your father gave Bantus independence. I assume you're talking about the Bantu stands. They called it a crime against humanity. Apartheid, I assume we're talking about their apartheid. Johan says ANC is just going to make us a scapegoat for all their choices and mess. Yeah, well, they're going to do that either way. It doesn't matter whether Trump ever mentioned this or not. You mentioned having cats. No, I don't, Philip Engelbrecht. I no longer have cats. I had 2 cats. I wonder if I've got their photograph here. I'd sent it. Where did I send that at? Let me see something here real quick. I'll see if I can find it real quick, because I sent it WhatsApp, so maybe I can find it there. Okay. No, that's not there. Let's try this. I know that name might. This won't turn up. Okay. Come on. It's too far back. Anyway, I had my cats. I put it in one of the groups recently. I had 2 cats. In Tunisia, I adopted a cat who kept wandering in my house, called him Prince, because he thought he was the king of the castle, and it's my castle. He can be the prince. He wound up being injured in all kinds of ways, and took him back to the States, had him for 11 years. I was kind of lonely when I got back to the States from Tunisia, and so I went and adopted a cat, another cat from one of the pet stores when they take them out there so they don't get euthanized. And she was one of 2 from a litter, and they named them after Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show, Tara and Willow. And so I got Tara, and Tara was a gray one. So Tara and Prince were different characters. Unfortunately, Prince died after I came back from Botswana in the kennel at Fort Meade, Maryland. And then Tara just died at the age of 23. Left her in Germany with folks. And so she just died at the age of 23 last year. It was kind of sad. I think I announced it on the program. Tara died. People didn't even know I had a cat. But she'd been living in Germany for the past several years. Left her there when I went to Africa. Yeah, so, Tara, Tara loved shrimp and Prince loved crab. Prince would beg and sit there and stare at me all day long for a piece of steamed crab meat. Oh, my goodness. Yep, and Tara would eat any shrimp, anytime, anywhere. That cat loved shrimp. Prince would eat shrimp, but it wasn't his favorite thing. All right. I think when the program opens, they're going to crap themselves. Agreed. Agreed. So for those who missed it earlier today, Neil Diamond, and no, they come to America. Not that Neil Diamond, but the Neil Diamond from the South African Chamber of Commerce in the USA, based here in the United States, was on the program. We talked, a lot of you in the chat, I don't know if it's people here now, but a lot of people in the chat were very disrespectful and rude to him. That's unnecessary. I'd ask that people not behave that way when I have guests on. That's not really productive. If you want to, howl at the wind, please walk outside the door and yell outside at people. I mean, that's really not helpful. The gentleman, you may not like him. It really doesn't matter. He's not an avowed racist. He's not a member of the EFF, and therefore I've had him on my program because he had information of interest. What we did find out that was interesting from Neil Diamond, if you were paying attention instead of calling him names, was that they were asked to stop giving out the information about how many people had shown interest in this program. That, ladies and gentlemen, tells you something. That tells you something. Now, I'll probably make a video about that point alone and show you just how desperate the government of South Africa is to cover up how many people are actually interested in this program. How many people are interested in this program? I can tell you 40, 50,000 people have inquired about it through my program alone in 11 days. If my tiny little program with just 40,000 subscribers, and I'm an American sitting in Pennsylvania, has gotten 40,000 plus inquiries and requests about this, either questions, WhatsApp, emails, then a lot of people are interested in this. And the fact that someone, the government of South Africa most likely, to identify to, and I didn't press because I know it's the government, asked the South African Chamber of Commerce not to release how many people have been inquiring about this, tells you how scared they are. They are truly terrified because they know that people have had enough. Heidi's going to call the cat distribution. I don't need any cats. I'm allergic to cats. Nope, nope, nope. Don't need any cats. I'm just a good person and took care of Prince because he was a stray and he would have died on the street if I hadn't taken him in. And he was always skittish, but what a great cat he was. I remember one time when I was at Fort Meade and I had the influenza. I was very sick, and I was lying on the couch with a blanket on my belly, and Prince came over as I was dozing, jumped up on my lap, laid on my chest to keep me warm. I woke up, and his head was down, and when I woke up, I looked up, and Prince lifted his head, and he looked at me. He turned over, and he put his head right down on my chest. Very sweet cat. Anyway, it was a nice cat. Cats are annoying, but my cats were nice. Okay. Okay, so I support Khoisan independence. That's awesome, Javon. Pretty cool. Unfortunately, you and about 10 others, so it's not going to go anywhere. Love the opening line of that letter, Golden Age. Oh, yeah, that's great. Good morning, Albert. Okay, and Nancy is just going, okay, I already got that. Martin Lowe, hello. As an Afrikaner, you are doing a great job. Well, thank you. It's very kind of you. Yeah, Chris, yes, you, the only one of the honest, open, and transparent. All the speakers like Neil Diamond, keep quiet because, like Neil said, he's not allowed to disclose information. Yeah, from your perspective, how many racial laws do they have to remove if they're eligible for AGOA? It's AGOA, not ALGOA. Please. Dennis, a lot of people keep writing ALGOA. I don't know what ALGOA is. It's AGOA, Africa Growth and Opportunity Act. I'm not chastising. I'm just saying AGOA. Can a country, because if I look over and I see ALGOA, it doesn't register in my brain. I'm looking for AGOA. Can a country have a few racial laws? No, it has nothing to do with that. So you guys are missing it completely. It's nothing to do with that. This is how the ANC has been so successful with propaganda. This is how Rise Mzansi has been so successful with propaganda, and Agra SA, and News 24, and ENCA, and Propaganda 24. Well, that is News 24, IOL, and all of them. All of them. It has nothing to do with the racist laws. That's the excuse, but that's not the reason they're here. Ladies and gentlemen, and I hold before me, I decided to print it out tonight. This bill, House Resolution 7256 from 6 February 2024, when Donald Trump was fighting court cases trying to put him in prison. He wasn't president. He wasn't leading Congress. He wasn't encouraging Congress to do things. This bill was put before the House and voted on, and it died in the Senate and didn't get to creepy Joe Biden. But this bill says, from Mr. James and Mr. Moskowitz, introduced the following bill: to require a full review of the bilateral relationship between the United States and South Africa. The actions of the African National Congress, and it just goes on from there. Congress finds the following. So I have the, do I still have it open? Let me see if I still have it open, because this was earlier today I was looking at it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so this is what it is. I'll read it to you. The actions of the African National Congress, which since 1994 has held a governing majority and controlled South Africa's executive branch, are inconsistent with its publicly stated policy of non-alignment in international affairs. This is a year ago. In contrast to its stated stance of non-alignment, the South African government has a history of siding with malign actors, including Hamas, a U.S.-designated foreign terrorist organization and a proxy of the Iranian regime, and continues to pursue closer ties with the People's Republic of China and the Russian Federation. The South African government's support of Hamas dates back to 1994, when the ANC first came to power, taking a hardline stance of consistently accusing Israel of practicing apartheid. Following Hamas's unprovoked, unprecedented, horrendous attack on October 7th, 2023, where Hamas terrorists killed and kidnapped hundreds of Israelis, and Americans, and Thais, and everyone else, members of the South African government, leaders of the ANC, have delivered a variety of anti-Semitic, anti-Israeli related statements and actions, including, and it goes on and on. It goes on and on. So let's get past, it talks about when Nelly Pandor gave a congratulatory phone call to Hamas leader Ismail Hayani, and it goes on and on. So we'll get past that. It talks about Iran here. So when she visited Tehran, and then the South African government is pursuing increasingly close ties with the Russian Federation, and it goes on there about the Lady R, about hosting Operation Mosi 2, about authorizing a sanctioned military cargo plane to land at Waterkloof, and then a bunch of other things. And then their interactions with the People's Republic of China, human rights violations in China, the recruitment of former U.S. and NATO fighter pilots to train People's Liberation Army pilots in South Africa at the Test Flying Academy. South Africa's hosting of the PRC, government-backed CCP-linked Confucius Institutes, which are to teach authoritarian-style governments, a la the communists in China. Participation in a political training school in Tanzania run by the Chinese Communist Party. The BRICS here opening their market to Huawei Technologies, which is nothing but spies, ZTE, and Hike Vision. The list goes on and on and on. This, look, I could run this. This damn thing is, how many pages is this thing? This bill is Oh, come on. I hate this. It freaking keep changing. It's 11 pages long. 11 pages long. I keep changing Acrobat. It used to be much more friendly. This is not about Afrikaners. This is not about those racial laws. It can change every racial law in the books, and they're not going to get the money back. The money is taken away because South Africa is damaging U.S. national security interests. They work against our interest. Done and dusted. Finished and klar. The Afrikaners thing is just an excuse. And I don't know why. I know why, because you're being hoodwinked by the media, and you're falling for it. And you don't have to believe me. Read it for yourself and reach your own conclusions. The problem is nobody's reading stuff. And if you're not going to read it, I appreciate you listening to me and hear what I'm saying. It's not the laws. It's not the laws, Dennis. That's an excuse. Tomorrow, the ANC can repeal all 142 racial laws. Donald Trump might rescind the offer, but highly unlikely because it goes beyond that. It isn't about the 142 laws. The 142 racial laws are not even mentioned in the executive order. In the executive order, Donald Trump said the following, and I repeat, from the executive order from 7 February 2024, unlike all these clowns on YouTube who are putting content out from America now, glomming onto this topic, trying to get views and make money, and they don't know what they're talking about. Section 1, purpose of the executive order. In shocking disregard of its citizens' rights, the Republic of South Africa has recently enacted expropriation to enable the government of South Africa to seize ethnic minority Afrikaners' agricultural property without compensation. That is true, but it's to seize everybody's property. Everybody's property. It's not agricultural property. This act follows countless government policies designed to dismantle equal opportunity in employment, education, and business, and hateful rhetoric and government actions, fueling disproportionate violence. That's why. That's why. So, I mean, people reading a lot of things into a document that's not there. It's what they're being told, or it's their own coffee table analysis, which, quite frankly, is often way off the mark. My cat died when I lived on a farm. I'm sorry, Copy. That's a shame. Unfortunately, that's what the fate awaits all of us eventually. The Zulu Xhosa many more deserve independence, just like the Boer, the British created South Africa, a synthetic state, which will devolve. Well, Devet Martins, you may very well be correct in that assessment. We'll see what happens. Melinda Perkins, welcome to you. Okay, we must respect. I agree. Yep, Javon. Yeah, there was no reason for people to be rude to Neil Diamond. He was respectful and polite. I know he's seeing the chat in there, so I give him credit for not addressing the chat and moving on. But I didn't, because it would have just been distracting. But I mean, I was really disappointed. People, look, it's just so typical. Look, you don't have to like the guy. He had something useful to say. So why are you coming to watching the stream if you're just going to piss all over him? Listen to what he say, and if you don't like it, that's fine. It's it's okay. Make a comment on the video. You don't agree with him because he was an ANC guy. Well, whoop-de-doo, My cat moved in with me from neighbor's house, ignoring him completely. I guess I like your neighbor. Yep, Ramaphosa. He's at that. Ramaphosa is at the robots of the world begging for money. Ask by who? Arctic. Ask what? By whom? When? I missed something. Can a refugee start a business in the U.S.? Yeah. Why couldn't they? Why couldn't you? The ANC signed. Jumped on me there. Come on. Okay. ANC signed expropriation, so I doubt any group will ever get independence in South Africa. And why did they comply? What was the threat if they didn't comply? Oh, I don't know. So I'm missing some here. Great shame they folded. Rhodesia was a great country. Well, it was for Rhodesians. Not so great for Shonan and Abele. What's your take on JFK files, CIA involved? I haven't read the JFK files. I mean, it's a big nothing burger to me. I don't know why the government had to cover it up for years. And was the CIA involved? They better not be involved. That's the CIA involved in that, then these people are criminals. They need to go to jail. Thank you, Maria von Josfeld, for your subscription. Yeah, the CIA, it's illegal for the CIA to operate intelligence operations inside the United States. The FBI can do that. They can do that. But the CIA and the National Security Agency are forbidden by law from collecting intelligence in the United States. The exception would be coordinating with the FBI on a counterterrorism thing, but they still can't collect intelligence here. Now, having said that, they obviously operate in the United States. The CIA headquarters is in Langley. Their training facility is at Quantico. They're here, and they operate here. That's where they do analysis and run their headquarters from and lobby the government from here. National Security Agency is based here, and it has collection assets here, but the collection assets are not focused on the United States. They're focused around the world. So, yeah, and people are they're like, folks, I served in the intelligence community, and I served in every level and in multiple agencies. I worked at the Defense Intelligence Agency, the National Security Agency, where I was chief of staff on a $3 billion program. And I worked with the CIA and with Navy intelligence and FBI and everybody in the sun. And you want to rubbish people? People want to rubbish all the time about being allowed to collect in the states. They're not. Unfortunately, the Patriot Act has been abused, and there are criminals who should be hunted down and prosecuted and put in prison for spying on Americans by abusing the Patriot Act and collecting information. You see, when you collect, I mean, look, I know, as a counterintelligence agent who investigated people who commit espionage or accused of espionage, this is something I know very well. And you can, if we're collecting information on a foreign source that's a terrorist or someone like that, or a target of some interest, and they engage in a conversation with a U.S. person. Now, a U.S. person isn't an American citizen. A U.S. person is defined legally as an American citizen, a permanent resident of the United States, a business operating in the United States. These are all U.S. persons, an entity. And so if they're engaged with that, it's by happenstance. Now, if they're engaged with someone that's a target, is a legitimate target overseas, who's calling the United States, we intercept that. We can record that, but the person, the U.S. person, their name, their identity has to be masked. It cannot be revealed even to an analyst. So it's protected. And if there's nothing of any substance there, then it has to be destroyed later on. So anyway, I'm not going to get into that. It's not important. Funny Bussoff, welcome to you. Light Rain, hello from the West Coast. Neil Diamond needs to say the right things to the ears of South Africa to protect his own interests. Yaku Basson, that's probably a fair statement. But I thought he was very forthcoming about what we need to know. The most important thing to me is we got the message that they were asked not to tell people how great the interest is. But if he said the pace has continued. So all but told you that the inquiries are still coming into them, lots of them. Had to laugh at Iowa headlines this morning. South Africa sends heavyweight delegation to the U.S. for damage control. Let me see that, because that's old news, because Ronnie Lamola already claimed that they weren't getting anywhere. Let me see. I'm going to Iowa now. I haven't looked at it this morning. That is not the top story. Tornado is what shows up on mine. I don't even see that. Are you talking about the physical newspaper or the website? It's not on the website. Let me go to the South Africa page and see what it has. Gardner, suspects, Limpopo, competition. Nope, no such story. No such story on my IOL feed. You see how they hide stuff from me? It's unbelievable. Yeah, I don't see that on the IOL at all, anywhere. 266 people here. See, yesterday we were already up at 400 this time. Juan Milan, welcome to you. Thank you, David Bain, for sharing that, but it doesn't appear on mine. Al Jazeera was a nice little hit piece YouTube a few hours ago. I saw Al Jazeera wrote a nice little hit piece on a video yesterday. It's pretty pathetic. Even after numerous scotches, could not get my IQ low enough to bother. Yes, Rupert, I know where Algoa Bay is. That's why when I see Algoa typed into the thing, my mind goes to ignore it. That's why I ask people to put Algoa. Luke, welcome to you. Copy, hello, Jan Filion. Jenkins, Algoa. Yes, I know where it is. Thank you very much. Been there, been there. Where can we get a copy of that, Bill? You can download it. Just do a search. I mean, the internet's an amazing thing, Philip. Let me show you how to do it. Okay. HR7256. Okay. There you go. I'll show you. This is all you have to do, man. Just use Google. HR7256, Bill. There it is, from Congress. Right click on that one, congress.gov. Here is the Congress's website. Okay. Okay. That's the bill. That's not the PDF version. Let me see if I can see. That's the text. You can read the text there, but I actually download it from a different page. One of these had it. Anyway, or you can put that in and put PDF in. Yeah, okay, here we go. Bill PDF.pdf. Okay, there you go. There it is. Okay, it's this one here. Okay, there you go. So, you know, they keep trying to blame this on Elon Musk. These people are idiots. And, you know, it's driving me nuts to tell people this over and over again. I'm frankly getting tired of it, to be honest, because not you guys, but this content is still not getting its distribution. I see these idiots on YouTube that have no idea what they're talking about. And they just completely missed the boat on this. So here it is. There's, you can go download it. Don't leave my channel just because I gave you a link. I'll be mad at you. I'll be mad. I'll never forgive you. I'll never forgive you. You're dead to me. She's a witch! Burn her! Well, I'm not a witch. Yes, she is. How do you know she's a witch? Look at her nose! She's a witch! Look at her long nose! That's not my nose. What do you mean it's not your nose? They put this nose on me. Well, we did the nose. We did the nose. Oh, my God. How do you know she's a witch? Look at her nose. Wayne Vestal says you've been very informed. You're very welcome. There's your copy of the bill. Good morning, Jacqueline Bota from PE. Well, President Trump is deciding. Okay, so stop. It's not President Trump deciding. President Trump has decided. He gave guidance to the people responsible. It's up to the people responsible. So what you hope for is that the State Department and the State Department of Homeland Security get off their ass and do their jobs. Trump has told them what to do. He said prioritize. Get it done. Handle it. They haven't done it. That's who we need to talk to, the State Department and the Department of Homeland Security. Trump, though, does need to follow up as a leader at some point and go, hey, didn't I tell you to come up with a program for South Africa? Where the hell are those refugees at? Who are the viewers not in the chat? I don't know, Xander. Lots. Okay. Oh, I know why we're not at 500 or 1,000 viewers tonight, because the people want to ask questions about can they bring their pets aren't here. That's what it is. I guess everybody want to know if they can take their pets has already asked their question. They're not here anymore. Luke, welcome to you. Wakanda. In the new Boer Republic, roadies are considered English Boer. That's funny. We had a hospital a week or more without water. Tried to fix the pipes. Pete Retief in Mpumalanga. Philip, I'm not surprised. Not Philip. Paul van Niekerk, I'm not surprised. Patty says Christ is King. Okay, be Catholic. I'm not Catholic. To get our funds out of South Africa, I think we should put it in crypto, and then when bank accounts in America, we can just do a payout. Well, fine, you can do that, but you run a risk of speculation, particularly with crypto at all-time highs. If it drops, then you lose it. Of course, you could hold on to it and get it back. I mean, that's your prerogative. I mean, that's one way to get your money out of South Africa. It's I'm not encouraging anybody to do anything, but it is a way. But rich people know how to do this. They tend to survive. When countries fall, they move to another place and they survive. And those who lose it all, who are talented rich people, rebuild and get it all back. Catherine Bernard said, I had 3 dogs. 2 were wolves. 1 was an Alaska Malamute. Well, if they're wolves, then how can they be dogs? 1 was a Malamute. Someone poisoned them, and ever since I cannot take another. Yeah, I know. It's well, they kill your dogs so they can break into your home. It's terrible. Can Neil Diamond sing like Neil Diamond? No, he can't. We tried. It didn't work. Okay. Solomon Crocodile. I wonder how many red lines ANC needs crossed for the U.S. deems them terrorist organizations. Well, the United States government has never issued a red line about South Africa. Not issued one. So there are no red lines. So I don't know what red lines you're talking about. This is not the Democratic Alliance. We're not Barack Obama. We don't put lines in the sand as a country and then refuse to follow through with them. Trump certainly doesn't put lines in the sand. There are no red lines. He's not established any red line. But I understand your question, but there are no red lines. Ernst Cuthbert, welcome to you. In America, refugees do almost everything Americans can do except get some government jobs and vote. That's pretty accurate, Patty. Thank you for sharing that. I thought that was a false assumption about the agency. What's a false assumption? James, something I just said a few moments ago. What's a false assumption? I think why people got irritated with him was when he was talking about 300 years of colonialism. Nice guy, I think. Oh, yeah, no. Well, I mean, it's Johnny Boy Steenhuisen just did the same thing, explaining, about, he doesn't want to see any dead farmers, black, white, brown, Afrikaner, it does. And that's all fine, John Steenhuisen. I'm with you 100%. Well said. But then we must understand 300 years of colonialism and legacy. I'll stop. That's garbage. That's garbage. Explain to me how South Korea, colonized by Japan, brutally colonized by Japan, occupied by Japan, how South Korea, although it took 30 years to get started, but then in the course of less than 30 years becomes a global powerhouse economically under their own model, shedding colonialism, how Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Taiwan's one exception. It was colonized by the Kuomintang, but it's all, anyway, Chinese. So, but all of these countries, and we'll throw Taiwan in there, have risen from the ashes in less than 3 decades without blaming the white man for their failure, without blaming colonialism for their failure, all of which were colonized, all of which, some quite brutally. Indonesia was brutally colonized by the Dutch, and they've all grown into modern, successful, some cases very wealthy states in 3 decades. Meanwhile, the ANC inherited a functioning country with a wealth of human capital, a well-established university system, synthetic technologies for taking coal and turning it into liquids, and energy, for producing defense material, for the world's first heart transplant, for so many advanced things, and turned into a total pile of steaming feces, which is what they've turned South A into. Yep. Chris, Neil DeBeer is that, but to be fair, Kioma, he didn't say that till the very end, and people were crapping all over him the whole time. Neil Diamond did make that comment about 300 years until the end of the broadcast, and people were crapping on him the whole time. Jan Fiona threw a gratuitous comment in. Chris, Neil DeBeer is the same as the Nam 70s G guy who went over to spy for Viet Cong. Yeah, that's but a rather gratuitous thing. We're not talking about Neil DeBeer. Do you want to talk about Neil DeBeer? In some state, you can vote in local elections, even if you're not a citizen, not federal. That is being overturned. That's being overturned case by case. New York's election law allowing foreigners to vote was declared unconstitutional, and those laws are going to be struck down. You're not going to be allowed to vote. The argument that people make is, well, pay taxes. Well, who gives a crap you pay taxes? Voting is not for taxpayers. It's for citizens. Case closed. Jess, I wonder who asked Neil Diamond to keep quiet. I think the numbers are much higher based on what I've been hearing from people I know. Well, JS, just from what I've seen here on my channel, although tonight we're not getting the questions. So, what are you guys going to do with your properties, says Fonny. Why, are you looking for some properties, Fonny? You can buy them, then you can have them expropriated. Okay, see on Newspod trending now, a black writer says white people are dogs. Yeah, no, I'm going to make a video on that. Yep. Wow. John Steenhuisen created 2 transformation funds of which farmers must pay 20% levy. Yeah, people keep telling me that. I need to find that. I haven't seen that. Where is that information at? Cody Lombard is back. Bit a bit. How you doing there? Melinda Perkins. Storm Russo, thank you for your podcast. You're welcome for my vlog. Okay. Our dog was poisoned a week and a half ago by 8 men. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Abby. That's terrible. Now they're coming to your house. Get ready. I'm not trying to frighten you, but that's why they poison your dog. Grady Matasha says America can take a go and shove it, apparently. Yeah, Grady Matasha is just another toothless idiot that's promoted well beyond his capacity, his intellectual capacity in life. Like most members of the cabinet, and bar any party, most members of the cabinet are beyond their intellectual capacity and their ability to think well beyond that. Grady Matasha is stupid. You know, he wants to play hardball. Look, keep pissing off Trump. It's coming, man. They're begging for it. They're begging so they can be the victims. Oh, America attacked us. Look, America. It's coming. Keep it up, buddy. Grady Matasha. Yeah, if they won't give us the money, we won't give them the minerals. No one's giving us minerals, dingbat, doorknob. Frickin' lunatic. We pay for the minerals, and we spend $430 million buying those minerals in 2023. Do you think your mining sector can absorb the loss of 4% of its sales? Good luck to you, Guede. We can get those minerals elsewhere, and we will, and we shall. When you become an unrivaled supplier, that market never reemerges. Keep that in mind. Adele Milan, thank you for subscribing. Neil Potgieter says, good morning, sir. It was just disappointing to see that AfriForum again saying that most Afrikaners do not want to leave. Okay, where, okay, please, Neil, okay, I'm going to go to AfriForum and I'm going to look and see. Where did AfriForum say this again? Please tell me where. People keep saying these things. And I do not see, I received no message from AfriForum. I'm not a member, but I'm on their mailing list. AfriForum. I've not seen anything. So let me go look at Afriforum's website. Okay, afriforum.co.za and see what they got to say. First, let me see if there's a news story. No, these are from... Nothing from the party. Okay. Okay. AfriForum stands together. Okay. I'm going to show you the page. Here it is. There's their English version. Okay. Yes, I'll accept your cookies. Okay. News. Let's go to the news. Okay. Okay. Go to their media statements. Let's see what they've got to say. Okay. Media statements. Demands information of Pumalanga Department of Education to purchase laptops. Neighborhood vanishes, SAPS. Now we're into COSA, I guess that is. I can't tell. Human rights at ESCOM. Okay, Bezos. There's, okay. That goes back to February 14th. There's nothing here from AfriForum. Where are you getting information about AfriForum? Let's go see what else. That's blogs. Okay, let's go to Media Erklärungs. Okay, there it is in Afrikaans now. Okay. Greek Vast. There's nothing here about... where are you getting this information from? I don't see anything from AfriForum that you're saying. You're going to have to tell me where that's coming from. Please. I don't see anything there. Okay. Neil, please, where's that information coming from? Charmaine, it sounds to me like, once again, this is some rumor that people spread in the media or spread on social media lying about an organization. I've already rubbished the nonsense where everybody came in my chat last week, and maybe that's why my audience is smaller today, because I don't steal bullshit. Not that, Neil, I'm not accusing you of sharing bullshit, but last week a whole bunch of people were rubbishing, or a few days ago, rubbishing Afriform Saudi. Who are they to speak for us? Who are they? They don't speak for us. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Where do you hear this? At the press conference. At the press conference. So I watched the press conference. They never said they spoke for everybody. They never said they're telling people not to go. That's not even spoken in that press conference. Trust me, it's a long and boring press conference. Yeah, Kali Creel was there, and Werner was there. All these people. There was no such thing said in the press conference. The media reported that Afriform said something, and then they ran with it, and you all believed it. They never said it. I've talked to Kali Creel. He never said that, and I warned him that his membership was in revolt because the media is saying that he said that. And he said, well, that's not what he said. And I watched the video, so I don't know. That doesn't mean it didn't happen, but someone needs to show me the digits. Where is this? Where are these statements at? Where can I attribute to them? And then I'll call them on the carpet if they said it. But I can't find it. Doesn't mean it's not out there. Just saying I can't find it. And every time I ask for it, nobody can produce it. Small tornado. Yeah, that was yesterday. Okay, the tornado in Montana. Okay, where are we at here? Let's get back to it. Thank you, Neil, for that. Zachary Joubert, thank you about the tornado. Ruvani Fribus is back. Philip Engelbrecht. They are taking their sweet arse time. Who is taking their time? Jan thinks the South Africa's not fixable. I can fix it overnight. You can see us playing games. Oh, what's this? Oh, my goodness. A super chat. What's a super chat? Where did that come from? Alistair Herbert, thank you for the super chat. Where did that come from? Wow, and Katie Lombard gave one too. I didn't see that. Is that coming up? And there's Cody Lombard. Thank you. I said Katie. Cody Lombard, thank you for that super chat. 2 in a row. Wow. Looky there. Oh, wait a second. Only one showed up. How did I get one name up here and one thing? Something fishy going on there. Nancy is playing Nissan Russian roulette with South Africans. Yes, they are. They are. They're playing Russian roulette with their own survival too. I think we're doomed in any case. It's not hopeless. Nothing's hopeless. Nothing's hopeless. I'm actually glad. I love South Africa, but I want my sister to go for her future. Luke says, Graham in Maine yesterday, war talking Iran. Do you think? No, we're not going to war with Iran. No, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. It doesn't mean Iran won't find their nuclear facilities bombed. Just we're not going to war with them. They can't project a war here. We have no reason to go over there and die. Peter says, remember when Guede promoted the non-existent mineral hazenile to investors when addressing a mining conference? Now he says South will not sell minerals to the USA. Yes, I do remember. Konrad Stoltz, thank you for your dedication, Chris. You look tired. What can we do? I'm not tired, guys. I'm not tired. What can we do to assist me? Well, Conrad, you can spread this channel as far as wide as possible and ask people to subscribe to it. There's a lot of people watching right now that aren't subscribed, and if you're not subscribed, I don't get credit for it. And YouTube takes 100% of the advertising revenue. If they play an advert during my broadcast and you're watching it, I don't get anything if you're not a subscriber. Not a member. You don't have to be a paying member. Not asking for paying members. Just be a subscriber. It's free. Hit the subscription button. Join us. Easy peasy. Right below the video.
That was easy.
But I know the mindset of Boers and Afrikaners. Many are just, untrusting of anything. And there are a lot of people who watch YouTube that don't have a YouTube account because YouTube doesn't force you to be signed in to watch content because they just take the money. Whereas X won't let you watch content unless you log in. Same with Instagram. But here, anybody can watch it. Ranger Jakes, welcome back. Good to see you there. Yeah, so you could tell people about this, spread the word. Also tell them that, stop believing the mainstream media. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. Every time you turn around, they're lying to you. And I'm going to read that letter here shortly, and you're going to be in shock, okay? First off, how many people knew about this bill? This is from last year. I talked about last year when this bill was introduced and covered it. But then, we had 15,000 people on the channel a little over a year ago, if that. And we only gained like 5,000, if that, all of last year. So, yeah, but now we've got a bigger audience. We've got to keep going. El Marie Mayer says, so nice to hear all the info, everyone's comments. Thank you very much for this. You're welcome. You're welcome. And again, unlike these twits on YouTube who make up their opinions, which they're welcome to, I backed them up with the facts. I didn't make this up. It's right there. I told you where to find it. I showed you on the screen. I show you the White House. In fact, let's go to the whitehouse.gov now and see if anything came out today. I doubt it. Whitehouse.gov. And by the way, these aren't secret websites. They're available to the entire planet. Hell, the astronauts in space have been stuck up there for 9 months because Boeing is defective, left their damn, astronauts in space for an 8-day mission for 9 months. Even they can watch this stuff. They can go to it. So here we go. Look, America's back, baby. The news. Let's look at today. So the 18th of February, interview with on the Sean Hannity Show. Accountability, access for in vitro fertilization, presidential, all that. Wait a second. They said Donald Trump would stop in vitro. Donald Trump is a threat to reproductive rights. Donald Trump hates reproductive. Well, but by the authority vested in me by the president in the constitutional laws of the United States of America, hereby to order that today many hopeful couples dream of starting a family, but as many as 1 in 7 are unable to conceive. Despite their hopes and efforts, infertility struggles can make conception difficult. Okay? My administration recognizes the importance of family formation, and as a nation, our public policy must make it easier for loving and longing mothers and fathers to have children. In vitro fertilization, boom. Wow. Look at that. Lowering the cost, reducing the barriers to in vitro fertilization. Within 90 days of the order of this date, the Assistant for the President for Domestic Policy shall submit to the President a list of policy recommendations on protecting IVF access and aggressively reducing out-of-pocket expenses. But I thought Trump would never do that. Oh, Trump is against in vitro fertilization. What a crock of horse manure. There's an executive order directing the Health and Human Services to write a policy to help lower the cost of it. That doesn't mean it's going to be lowered, but there's the facts, baby. There's the facts. President Trump requires transparency for the American people about wasteful spending, radical transparency about wasteful spending. Illegal border crossings plummeted in January. That's news. George Washington's birthday. That's yesterday. Those are today's stories. Nothing new about South Africa. And there's nothing going to come from it because the place it's going to come from is the Department of State. Let's go to the American Embassy in Pretoria website, and you will see that nothing new is on the page. There it is right there. I'll reload the page just so you see that I didn't keep yesterday's up. There you go. Nothing new. And let me tell you the fake news. See, this is the crap I rubbish and people just move on. There was a screenshot going around where someone said, "Oh, after this executive order, the Americans have issued a travel warning telling Americans not to come to South Africa because this executive order and expropriation." Stop hyperventilating. Stop hyperventilating. No such thing happened. And I rubbished this immediately. Let me show you what this is about. This was last week. I had to rubbish this nonsense. Travel advisory level 2, exercise increased caution. You click on that link and check out the date of when this was issued. Nothing to do with what's going on. This is how slow the American Embassy is. All right, travel advisory, November 7th, 2024. Country summary. Violent crime is common, armed robbery, rape, carjacking, and mugging. All right, this was because of updated information on kidnappings, okay? For American citizens, a warning. It has nothing to do with this. The Biden State Department issued that warning, travel warning advisory, in November of 2024. Trump wasn't president. Hey, Solomon, what's going on? Stefan, the Pale African. Boy, you didn't get a 10, buddy. Was on a work permit in New Zealand for less than 12 months when I got voter registration papers in the mail. Well, Stefan, I'm happy for you, but we're not talking about New Zealand. I don't care what happens in New Zealand. This isn't New Zealand. We're talking about America. Talking about America. Talking about America, man. Get together. We shall, Bafana, yeah. We shall be free, okay? Patty, to vote in America, you have to be a citizen. That will take years. It's a long process. Well, no, refugees can actually get it with, a little bit quicker through about 5 years, but it does take some time. Isaac reports some called us dogs. That's more scary than Boer songs. Okay. Again, Kobestain, thank you, but that doesn't help me. Isaac. Who the f is Isaac? That's the second time someone's mentioned Isaac. What Isaac? Lots of people have the name Isaac. Is this Isaac from Newspod? Is this Isaac from Boer Legion? Is this some Isaac I don't know who it is? Please help me out. Kobes, I can't do anything with that. Okay? And also the way it's written, it looks like you're saying that either he reported people calling you dogs or he's calling you a dog. I don't understand that. Chemically insane. That's pretty scary. What if the DA takes power and educate? The DA taking power. How? How, man? There's no alternative for the ANC except the DA. That's not true. And I told people this. And again, gosh, it's frustrating if people don't listen. You're not required to have a majority to govern. You're not required. Look at the European countries. You have a parliamentary system in South Africa. It doesn't require a majority. You can rule with a plurality. But what happens is you can't get anything passed because you don't have the votes. So Don't go in a coalition with the ANC. Let them rule on their own with their 40 plus 40, maybe 3% with the other 8 parties that don't go with the DA. They stay. If the DA leaves, then the Freedom Front Plus will leave. And so when they leave, then they're down, like 42% with the ANC and the 6 parties left. And let them rule with their 42%. They'll introduce a bill and nobody will vote for it. They'll get 42% and done and dusted. Let them rule. Don't be part of their poison chalice. Let them fail. Let them fail. Let them fail and oppose everything. Instead, the DA is complicit in everything that's going on. So, I don't know why that's so hard for people to see. It's a parliamentary system. It's not. Anyway, yeah, so. If I had a chance, what would you change about the USA? I would move all the Democrats to Reunion Island and dump them there. That's what I would change. Oh, and the rhinos. We would send them to St. Helena. No, seriously, what would I change about the USA? I would prosecute people who violate the Constitution by using agents as actors of the state, like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, yeah, Twitter, all of them. I'd go after them because they have done grievous harm to this nation and its psyche. Yep. Hendrick blames apartheid. I don't. Trump took press conference. He said he had many big companies contacting him to move to the U.S. Soon they'll build their motors in the U.S. I guess Sally is going to see an Exodus automobiles. No. Oh, gosh. I can't figure out how to turn this. I've dug up my... This watch is my G-Shock. I used to wear it every day, but I stopped wearing a watch a number of years ago. It's been in the basement for 9 years. I think I've worn it maybe once in 9 years. I put it in the basement. Well, not 9 years. Excuse me, 5 years. It's been in the basement 5 years, not 9 years. Been in the basement for 5 years since I retired from the Army. And this is the same battery. It's been in there for like 15 years. It's still functioning. And I've forgotten how to turn the alarm off. It's got an alarm set for midnight. So the time was wrong. I had to change the time. It lost time over 5 years. It lost about an hour and a half of time. So it was ringing at 10:30 instead of midnight. So anyway, but I fixed it now and it works. And the light still works on it when I do it up. It's kind of dim, but the light still works. Yeah, so wow, G-Shock, man. Great freaking Casio watches. I used to wear these all the time. Anyway, it still works, but the damn alarm, I got to figure out how to turn it off. I forgot. Anyway, yeah, so where we're at back here. Yeah, no, South African automobile industry is not coming to America. It may collapse. It may collapse, but it's not coming to America. No. Trump is talking about manufacturers are going to move their production to America because of the tariffs, and he's right. If they want to get in the biggest market in the world, they're going to do that. Okay, Fred, that's no help. What you're doing is asking me to watch a video by Willem Petzer in which he makes a claim. You're not offering me the location. I saw that video and I haven't had time to watch it. I don't have time to watch everybody's videos. I will look into it, Fred. Thank you for that. But, okay, a YouTube video isn't a primary source. A YouTube video is not, unless it's a live broadcast from a happening event, is not primary source. Thank you for your membership, Kathleen. Yeah, so thank you for that. That's a video by Willem Petzer. In fact, the fact that somebody puts a video on YouTube doesn't make it true. I'm not saying that Willem got it wrong. Willem and I talked for about 40 minutes earlier today when he called me. Yeah, it may very well be true, but I'm not asking for the video. I'm not going to go watch a video so someone can tell me their analysis of something unless they're going to tell me where they found it. Ronaldo made a video about this letter, which I had previously seen, but I kind of dismissed. This letter here from members of Congress. Ronaldo made a video about it. Ronaldo didn't ask me to go watch his video, and he didn't even put the link in for his video, which was pretty cool. I told him he could. He's got a spanner, but he didn't put it in. But you're welcome to go watch Ronaldo's video, and I encourage you to do that. It's a pretty good video. But he sent me the letter, the JPEG of it, the scan of it, which I was able to get elsewhere. So I was able to take a look at it, read it for myself, and then come to my own conclusions. So thank you for that, but that's not going to help me, Fred, but thank you. I know about that video. Very kind of you. Freeform is saying it in their press conference. Which press conference, Mickey? Did they hold a press conference today, or is there a previous press conference? Because they didn't say it in a previous press conference. Unless they said it in Afrikaans, they didn't say it in English. Ruvani blames Canada. I blame Canada too. Those damn Canadians. Freeform has never said the actual word genocide either. Correct, they didn't. They never said that. I've never heard them say that once. That's a lie. That's a lie. And people attribute it to them all the time. And AfriForum said they are staying there to support their members. That's their job. Why would AfriForum pick up and move to Nebraska? That's not their role. People inferring what they want to infer incorrectly doesn't make it true. Thank you for those who just put the clear-headed response there. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead because I'm way behind. Okay, and so I'm sorry if I'm missing things. Clive, we need a proper conservative political party in South Africa with a thinking and free market foundation. Must include all races, conservative groupings. Will it work? No. It's a great idea, but it won't get much support. It's too esoteric. You got to have populist narratives to gain votes. Neil, again, he told Matt Gaetz that although some will want to leave, most want to stay. Well, Neil, are you talking about Ernst Lutz? Talking to Matt Gaetz? I didn't see your previous statement, unless I missed something. Yeah, he's right. Some South Africans will leave, most will stay. That doesn't mean that's his position. He's just telling you his analysis, and he's correct. Oh, Werner's telling South Africa with the phone, chin up, buddy. I understand what you're saying and feeling it too, but what will be will be. There is a plan with regards to exit. Keep holding on. There you go, Werner. Good encouragement there, Werner. Heinrich von Schoenbeck. Thank you for sharing that. I suspect your name was probably Schoenbeck at one time, but the umlaut disappeared, and they didn't put an O on there, or an E on there, so I have to say Schoenbeck. It should be Schoenbeck would be my guess. Anyway, we need someone to edit a video with snippets of the news and racist speeches for us to just show the consult. Well, that's what I'm going to be doing. I don't know if I'll do it tonight, but I'm going to download some of that stuff. I've already downloaded. I'm going to use it to expose these people. You met Guaidó. It took him on how he does not come to our shop. His daughter got a poultry farm. His son-in-law had multi-choice. Yeah, they're all tied up to Guptas. Morning again. He told Matt Gaetz, okay, I saw that. Schools were closed. The residents were ordered to shelter in place Tuesday after a large fire broke out. Ooh. I didn't see that in Philadelphia. AfriForum was saying these things in their first few media appearances. I did send you the tweet, but their spokesman, just like Willem Petzer, is saying in his video. Yeah, I saw a tweet from you, but I don't know who that person is. Yeah, Charmaine, correct. The AfriForum said they're staying in South. They never said that people in South Africa are staying. It's mainstream media twisting it, and you're all falling for it. You're all falling for it. South Africa needs Rhodesian soldiers. The Rhodesian Light Infantry to the rescue. Pamwechete. Zulu Scouts. Water pipe's broken. That's a shame. What's the website that Neil Diamond provided to obtain additional information regards? I don't know. It was Pope or something. It's on there. The South African on there. Just look up the South African Chamber of Commerce. It's on there. They have a link to it. You can go find it there. Luke is now making an analysis, which is his inference that doesn't make it correct. AfriForum, Petzer, AgriSA, Sightlanders, SBB, all saying they're staying in South. They're sending a message that the Afrikaners are staying. Sending a message to who, Luke? To Donald Trump? He doesn't give a flying flip what they've got to say. Colonel, a difference to say that many rather want to stay in their home country and strive for independence. Those who want to leave, it's their choice. Yeah, I don't understand distinction there. That's what I've been saying. Will I be able to swim in the Gulf of America this summer? Well, good luck to you, Nick. We take tourist arrivals every day of the year. You're welcome to come visit. You want to swim in the Gulf of America? That's on you, man. Not my cup of tea. Okay, James Lynch, to the person with the dog that happens at this time of year and surveillance issues, yeah, start recording 24/7, keep the data in portable drives, takes a lot of selfies and around your cars and house. Yep. It's not only mainstream, and I think YouTube has soft blocked you. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, it's hard to say. They may have surfers. I've always been shadow banned on this platform, but clearly they're not entirely shadow banned. I mean, otherwise, I would have gone from 20,000 to 46,000 subscribers in like 10 or 12 days. And not, I mean, look, we had 10,000 watch the live stream with Venit Dutoy yesterday. We had 11,000 watch with Neil Diamond today. Now it's yesterday for you guys. Me too. It's 8 minutes ago. So Monday, Tuesday, 10,000, 11,000 on 2 live streams. We had a peak of 2,100 for the Neil Diamond and about 1,000 for Venit Dutoy the day before. I mean, these are unheard of numbers on this channel under the shadow banning. I'm lucky to get 150, maybe 200 with a really good guest sometimes, but not now. That's surging. But yeah, when you say soft banning, maybe they are. I don't know. All I can say is that we're excited about the number of people watching here. It just proves my point. If we had 250,000 viewers or 100,000 viewers based on the revenue that generates off of per minute from U.S. viewers, this channel would generate enough income for me to travel to South Africa, to advocate, to start my own website, all that stuff. I could probably even hire a PA just based on advertising revenue alone. As it is, it's encouraging. The bit of Avenue Revenues had a significant uptick here, and it's pretty cool. Not to mention the number of members. We have over 500 members now. A lot of gifted memberships, but a lot of people signing up, and thank you for that. But we really want to get the subscribers. You know, a lot of people always tell me, Chris, why are you so obsessed with subscribers? I'm not. You have to understand that the larger your channel is, the less difficulty you have in getting people to come to the channel. So anyway, IVF is satanic. It should be banned, says Patty. Oh, well, thank you for your Catholic dogma, Patty. Thank you for that. Trump is at risk of going to hell for allowing IVF. I seriously doubt that. I think God will be happy that he restored freedom to the world. Abortion kills. Okay, Patty, I'm going to warn you now. Stop spamming about your views on the right to life and the sanctity of life. I agree, but I'm not spamming your chat, so stop it. Okay? You've been issued a warning. Earl says, Isaac. Who the F is Isaac? Which Isaac? And now, out of the blue, Kobus says, yes, news spot. Are you saying that, okay, is somebody trying to start something here? Are people saying that Isaac from Newspod rubbished me? On the same broadcast where I spoke? Kobus saying I talked to him yesterday. Are you saying, when did he say that? When did he say it, Kobus? Yesterday? Today? Going to take this time and get all your things in order, because if this comes through, it's going to be very quick. Well, I would say this. If I just appeared as a guest on the program and someone said something bad about me, that's very unprofessional. I find it hard to believe. Not that it didn't happen, but I want to know. If it did happen, then we're going to have a conversation. Yeah, Isaac Duplessis. Thank you, Alta. So you're saying that Isaac Duplessis had something bad to say. What did he say about me specifically? It looks like people are trying to start a fight here, and I'm not going to get sucked into it unless I know what you're talking about. Okay, Momine, what the hell? It just jumps. Freaking YouTube. I'm not even doing anything. It just jumps here. What changes that refugees would be in a Republican state? It doesn't matter what state you're in. It has nothing to do with political status. It's a federal program. Don't like the Democratic mentality. I live in a state that's so-called purple state, and everyone around me is conservative. 2 out of 3 voters here are registered Republicans, and those registered Republicans, over 80% of them are actual conservatives. So yeah, over half the population where I'm at is all pure, hard conservative. And that's 3/4 of the physical area of the state of Pennsylvania. The presidential in that so-called what was a blue state. Pablo says you can change 90% of the next president can turn all around. Untrue. Untrue. See, Pablo, you know nothing about my country. You know nothing. You can't turn around anything because we have law. We have a constitution. The president cannot override the Constitution. The president cannot override laws. Congress must send a new law to the president for him to sign. The president can take executive action, but executive action only applies to things the president has purview over. But the president has power over a lot of things, but not 99% of what's going on in America. No, you just probably you don't know what you're talking about. Look at this. I wore the eagle hat just for you. You know what? Since that, I'm not going to wear it anymore. I'm taking off the eagle hat because you're spewing propaganda, Pablo. Look at that. I defend you all the time, and you come here with nonsense. Javon says the Pope needs to be arrested. Now, I think the Argentinian Pope does need to be arrested, but that's just another story. And country is majority voting center right, like the Netherlands. You have stability and governance. It's not perfect. Yep, Pablo. Now, okay, Pablo. I'll put the hat back on. I'll put the hat back on. Because Pablo comes back, he makes sense. And the next comment. So he does kind of a trolling comment. Now I put the other Eagles hat on. Morning, Chris. Do you think it would help if we edit news videos and speeches showing how racist this country has become? No, I don't know if that's going to help. Guys, Juan, it's a good question. That's a very good question, Sean. But let's wait and see what the status is and who's even going to qualify for. People going to start putting energy and time into something like that. Charles, can't we start an exchange program where we move Democrats to South Africa? I tried this program. I offered you Trevor Noah and Charlize Theron for no charge, and nobody would take them. Nobody would take them. Yana switched off her cons. No, Canada's not going to be 51st state, and we don't want it. Lately, ANC sacks their president before he finishes his term. There will be a new function. Not sure what Billy's saying there. Okay. A reported called White's Dogs. A reporter called white stalks her. Okay, see, that's why I'm not going to get sucked in. Thank you. Thank you for that, Cobus. Yeah. No, I got that story. Hang on. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Yes, we're in trouble, and y'all just keep talking cock to each other and about each other's people. Exactly, South African. Exactly. Stop the nonsense. I believe what Trump and Elon are doing would have a beautiful outcome in the USA. I would love to be part of the government that actually tries to help people. I'm with you, Nicholas. I'm with you. It's a great day here. Old King Red is back. We already gave them to... No take... No, please. We'll pay you. Okay. I tell you what. I'll talk to Trump and we'll restore the foreign aid if you take Trevor Noah and Charlize Theron. We'll take Dreekus. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. That's too funny. Yeah, if you guys, we'll give you the money back. We'll give you all the money back if you just take them back, please. Actually, Trevor's back, so I don't have to pay you for that one. He's gone. Trevor's back in South Africa, being a deuce in South Africa. What a clown that guy is. Oh my goodness. The pretend colored man. The pretend colored man. He doesn't know what colored is, and he lies to people. I'm a colored. We've been discriminating against. Nah, dude, you're a mixed race. Your dad's from Switzerland. Your mom is from Kosovo. You're not colored. You're not colored. Colored isn't mixed race, you dingbat doorknob. Africa, I do. Yeah. Yep. Well, there's also, what's the other one? Wind of Change. That's a really good documentary about that time. It's incredible. Winds of Change. Is it Wind of Change or Winds of Change? Let me see. Wind of Change video. Documentary. I think that's what's called. Wind of Change documentary. Let's see if that's it. Is that the one? No. No, that's not it. Let me see if this is it. Try to see. No, this isn't. Anyway, but I mean, the film, the Army War College has. I'm gonna have to get it. I used to use it. Got it in my syllabus. It's hard to find. Would South refugees have American rights, or would they only obtain them once they become citizens? Brendan, good question. So here come we got an hour and 15 minutes before the refugee questions came. That was pretty good tonight, but now you can bring them. Brendan, anyone who is a permanent resident of the United States is entitled to the protections and guarantees of the Constitution of the United States. Yep. Illegal aliens do not have rights. I don't care what the ACLU says. White people are being compared to dogs. It's not far from what the Hutus call. Yeah, no, you're right, Yervani. 100%. Where's the South African Human Rights Commission? They're frauds. And the Springboard Ruby team, Springbok rugby team, is that what you meant? My point is Afrikaans ordinance are saying that is their message. It's not my interference. Inference. No, Luke. Now say you're mixing. No. You do have an inference here. They're not saying that. They're saying that they're staying. You then stated that that's sending a message. You believe that's sending a message. It is sending a message. The message is that they're gonna stand up for their members' needs, their constituents' needs. It isn't sending a message. You better not go. We don't want you to go. Nobody's leaving. That's your inference. You're inferring that. They're not implying that. You are inferring that, and I don't agree. I don't agree with that assessment. Doesn't make me right. Doesn't make you wrong. That just we disagree on that. Audrey Ruiz, welcome to you. Yeah, the South African Black Rights Commission. No, you do not, Luke. No, you do not. You do not. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. If I go knock up a Zulu woman and have a kid, that kid is not colored. Coloreds are a group of people who descend from Khoi, San, and Europeans in the Western Cape and have moved from there as a group. They tend to be Afrikaans speaking Dutch Calvinists and are thoroughly mix of African and European in their culture. Trevor Noah is not colored. That's bullshit. That is not true. It's an ethnic group. Lumping people into color because they've got mixed race is not colored. That's what race... Oh, no, I'm going to say it, but that's not true. That is not colored. No. That is not colored. I'm sorry. And that's not what South Africans believe. I don't know where you get that from, Luke. You're going to say, well, who am I? You're an American. Who are you telling me? I'm a South African. Well, I am telling you. Trevor is not colored. Trevor is mixed race. Nick Lebre says, but what security does the South African people have? They become refugees. What? Okay, probably not your first language. Sorry. What security do the South African people have that become refugees? Is the U.S. to not be sent back to where Trump's? Oh, okay, yeah, I've answered that many times, but it's a good question, Nicholas. Thank you for asking. You have no guarantees whatsoever. No refugee has any guarantee. But let me just explain to you how it works. Can somebody tell me which refugees have been sent home after the crisis ended in their home country? Anybody? Somebody want to tell me? People forcibly repatriated? Liberians came to America in 1990 to escape a civil war on a 3-year special refugee access. They're still here. 35 years later. They haven't left. In fact, they interfere in our governance all the time. Most of them don't bother to become American citizens. They stay here. They leech off the economy. I'm not picking on Liberians. And then they complain about what's going on in Liberia. And they go to Washington, they lobby Washington very powerfully to give money to Liberia, to fix Liberia. But they don't go to Liberia. They expect us to do it. They expect us to pay for fixing Liberia. They don't even go there. They go there on holiday, visit their family, and they come back. That's an embellishment, but it's a larger true statement for most of them. Thousands of them, tens of thousands of Liberians won't leave the country. And every time that their special visa is about to expire, they go to D.C. and cry. I lived in Liberia. It's safe. Hell, I'm a white dude. It was perfectly safe for me to live in Liberia. I don't want to go back to Liberia because it's too nice in Minnesota. Too nice. Hey, Sean, you still here? The Liberians in Minnesota. Yeah, for sure. And then the other ones in Michigan. Yeah, you know, and they're also down there in Maryland. They're all over the place in America. Atlanta, Maryland, Minnesota. Yeah, these are Liberians. They're not going back to the man. They're not going back to the country, no. And we ask you, where you from? And you tell them where you from. And then they stare at you like, what you talking about, man? How do you come? You tell me you're from Liberia. You must be tired. You just come from Liberia. Where are you from? Well, I'm from the grocery store. Now we're talking. You come from the grocery store. That's where you come from. Because where you from mean where you just come from, not your home of origin. Anyway. All right, cool beans. Dino Primi says, I'm correct. Thank you, Dino. Always nice to have it reaffirmed. Villain Petzer had that video about where they... Oh, I know. Armageddon. Relax. I'm going to get to it. Going to get to it. Got to go here. Going to get to it shortly. Going to get to it. Half Muslim, that group. Yeah, well, not half Muslim, but there's a significant portion of it. Yep. Apologies if you've answered this question. Okay, I answered that question. YouTube channel has the best explanation answer I've seen yet about refugee status for us, understanding refugee employment. Orsi. Okay. Orsi. Never heard of that channel. YouTube. Orsi. Okay. No such channel shows up when I do a search. 1 subscriber. No such channel exists. Have you typed the name in incorrectly? Oh, maybe I typed it incorrectly. Let me try again. Aha! Got it. Designed for South Africans living abroad, offering both a website and app for your convenience. Okay. Understanding the refugee employment rights in the U.S. Three days ago. Work authorization and social integration.
Thank you for joining us.
Baie dankie, Walter. Kijk, ek is 'n ou van Pretoria af en
right. So, first can we start with explain to people the difference between asylum seeker and a refugee, because it's not providing asylum, right? Is that correct?
That's correct. So first of all, the actual order talks about refugee status, but let's just quickly define what's the difference between asylum and refugee. You can only apply for refugee status if you're outside the United States. For those who are in the United States already, this is not applicable. There is no refugee status for someone who wants to apply while in the United States. Now, asylum, on the other hand, is somebody who's in the United States who want to claim asylum.
Okay.
How is that better or different than what I've told you? That was published 3 days ago. I told you that on February 7th, and I've consistently said the same thing. This piece of paper has been on my desk since February 7th with the federal law, the United States Immigration and Nationality Act. I'm not trying to rubbish another channel, but how is that the best explanation you've ever seen on Orsi? I'll check the channel out. Thank you for the link. But okay, whatever. 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 Okay. Where I'm at here. That was Jan van Driel. Okay. Line in the sand. Nicholas says, apologies if you answered this question before. What's okay. Yeah, to directly answer your question, Nicholas, because I answered a roundabout way, is that refugees never leave. That's why I don't want refugees. Refugee is a temporary status until the crisis is averted. Then you're supposed to go home. No one goes home. No one ever goes home. Refugees aren't refugees. They're migrants. They're not legally migrants, but that's what they become. They're immigrants. They're not legally immigrants, but they wind up being immigrants. They never go anywhere. They stay, they stay, they stay. No one goes home. No one goes home. A small, tiny number of people go home back to their homeland when the crisis is over. But the ANC is not going to change its ways and insult America, and their racist legislation is not going away. So there's no reason to take it away. And when Trump leaves, the next president can't rescind your refugee status. He doesn't have the authority to do that unless you've done something wrong. He could say he can end the program and say no more people from South Africa because the crisis is over. He can't revoke it unless it was time dependent. If Trump comes out and says the program is for 3 years, yeah, but the president cannot simply rescind it just because then they have to prove that there's no threat to you in the court, because it will go to court and it'll be stopped and it'll drag out in the courts and you'll go nowhere. The librarians pull this off every 5 or 6 years. They get extended, extended, and librarians don't even pay attention. Most of them don't even know what happens. No, I got the black guy, Kristen. Thank you for that. I just haven't got to it because I haven't got through the chat, and I'm going to have to jump ahead to do it. Nicholas will say, would love to have it for you to have a chat with Willem Petzer. Well, I did have a chat today, Nicholas, with Willem Petzer for 35 minutes earlier today. He called me. And I said, hey, we should do a stream soon. He said, yep, let's do it. So Willem Petzer and I will be chatting sometime soon. But Willem is very set in his ways about his view of things, and it's not in line exactly with mine. So if you think it's going to be in line with mine, we're not exactly 100% in line. Good guy, but I don't agree with some of his positions. Have you ever done the garden route? Yeah, Steve. Oh my gosh, you're new to the channel. Oh yeah, I've done the garden route. Rob Hutchinson from DRSA picked me up at the airport in George, took me to Mossel Bay, and I stayed overnight in the Santos Express for a couple of days, and met up with Hein Marks, who lives down there, whom I'd interviewed in the past, and then stayed there and met the owners of the Santos Express, who actually live in America, but they're South African. And then had a meet and greet there, really awesome meet and greet at the at Santos Express. And that was the night that that Ronaldo tried to wind me up, and it worked, because that's the night that the eucalyptus tea drinkers from down under rubbished me and called me an e-beggar and lied and said that my trip was being paid for by other people when I had spent thousands of dollars out of my pocket for the hires, for the airfare, for the meals, for the petrol. And for most of the well, not most, but some of the accommodation. Yeah, so I just went off and just called the guy all kinds of names. Yeah, that was, and then we left from there. We went back to George, went to Neisner, and continued. We didn't have time to stop at Neisner, went to PE, and then I had a meet and greet in PE, which was pretty cool. I hung out with Ronaldo for a bit, and that was my first trip to PE. I'd never been to Eastern Cape before that. That was in 2022. And I'd never been on the garden route. The farthest I'd ever been down the south coast was Hermanus on a few occasions, and never went further. So 2022, I finally did that. Yep, but I've never driven from PE any further east. And then from Durban, I've never gone any further south on the east coast than Amanzimtoti. So the rest, that whole stretch there, I don't know that. That's one part of South Africa I don't know. Yep. Good question, Steve. Thanks for asking it. Yep, Neanderthal DNA. Best geology website to use. Jurgens, that's a difficult question to answer because there's a lot of good ones out there. The Mormons have a free one. Look, for pay sites, it's a little pricey, but not too bad. And Ancestry.com is pretty good. I keep an Ancestry.com account. The only problem I have with them is that they were bought out by a British company and they're lying SOBs. I was a charter subscriber when they first started charging for the service at Ancestry.com, and I was guaranteed in a perpetuity $159 per year that fee would never change. When I was in Uganda, my credit card didn't go through. It was automatic renewal and it didn't go through. And they didn't send me an email message saying, hey, you have to pay it by this date. They simply canceled my membership. When I tried to log in a few days later, I couldn't get in and I had to restart it. When I restarted, they charged me $200 a year. And I've never forgiven them. So I have an issue with Ancestry.com. Also, they're constantly changing the site, trying to milk money out of you for other things. But it's fantastic. Their DNA is inexpensive. If you're in South Africa, you probably can't take advantage of it. But if you want to do the DNA thing, you can order it, have it delivered somewhere in the States, and then in a little thing, mail it into them, and then you'll get the DNA, and it's fantastic. So it's pretty good. There's a lot of other good sites, but it's probably one of the better ones. I hope that helps. Asylum. What is this asylum? What? Come on. Yeah, Claudia, Colonel has said all this from day one. Exactly. All these Johnny-come-latelys coming on and making videos when they weigh. See, the difference is I saw this as a problem long ago, and I poured on early. Won't be tuned in for long today. Apparently, electric cables vandalized. That's terrible. State Department have 90 days from when Trump is inaugurated, so that's 9 days from January. Charmaine, that was for something else. They didn't give a specific time to do this. That guy didn't just compare us to dogs. He said we were genetic. Yes, I know, JS. Okay, I'm going to show it. I'm going to get to it. David Callaghan, he said it with an Afrikaans accent. Remember, Chris, when I told you why haven't we Afrikaners gotten refugee status yet? And you said, have you applied? Huh? No, I don't remember, Ruvani. Do we have a conversation? This is pre this event. Is that what you're talking about? Maybe last year or something like that? Well, you could have applied for refugee status at any time. You didn't need this order. Probably would have been denied, but you could have applied at any time. Lots of farmers were affected. Hey, Herman Volka. I'm here, Colonel. Just watched Morning Shot. Wow, so true what he said there. I didn't see it. I have no idea. What stood out in that video you played in Willem Petzer's video cover the risk attached to losing your refugee status? Huh? Okay, Annabelle, without having watched the video, I can't define what you're, discern what you're getting at. You can lose refugee status if you break the law. You'll be deported. Simple as that. Follow the law, you're not going to lose it. And you're not going to lose refugee status because the administration changes. If people are telling you that, they're full of shit. They're totally full of shit. I don't know who these people are or say, and I don't know who else is telling you this. I don't know they told you that, but you seem to be implying they did. Again, name one group of people who are refugees who were sent out of the country as a consequence of the situation improving the homeland. None. None. Name a group. Thanks for bringing balance back to Sunny Center views of both sides of the coin. Thank you, Shalom Hartenbos. My pleasure. They were talking about you and Benoni yesterday. Somebody mentioned me and Benoni yesterday. What is the name of that group in Cape Town? I remember that. I had that video. I can't find it now. I gave it 5 years to get better, but after losing 8 years of hard work due to BE regulations, gave up. Okay, and I'm going to jump ahead. Okay, well, nobody can say Eugene Terreblanche was wrong now. Eugene Terreblanche was wrong about a lot of things. He may have been right about a few things, but he was wrong about a lot of things. The bad opportunity South Africa had me move to the Middle East for better opportunities. Which areas have the same weather as South Africa, U.S.? Skalk van Wyk, asked and answered, but I'll answer it again. That's impossible. South Africa doesn't have the same weather. The east coast of South Africa is subtropical. The west coast of South Africa is Mediterranean. There's completely different climatic zones. The high veld is high desert chaparral, very different. So and then the mountains are alpine. So that's at least 4 different zones. Tropical, subtropical 5, tropical, subtropical, Mediterranean, high desert chaparral, and alpine. Okay, well, alpine, the Rockies, and New England, the high parts of the Appalachians. Then you've got Mediterranean, that would be Southern California, exactly a Mediterranean climate, low humidity, warm, comfortable, breezy, good weather most year round. As far as high desert chaparral, New Mexico, parts of West Texas, Arizona, that fits that. Utah, that fits everyone. Nevada, that fits that perfectly. So, you know, it's just depends on what you're looking for there. Did my new passport yesterday. It was quick. It'll take only 2 weeks. They asked me nothing, no paperwork. Wow. Mossel Bay, run by the DA. Okay, Colonel, could you please touch on the potential VAT increase? Yeah, David Kirsch, they want to raise, the speech is coming today, and I'm not going to cover it. I've got Franz Kronier. He's far more interesting to me than listening to these clowns tell you they're going to take more money out of your pockets. We can read the aftermath of that. Yeah, they want to raise the VAT to raise a whole bunch of money. They want to raise the VAT. They want to raise the personal income tax. They want to raise this corporate tax. They want to tax. And when you tax, you destroy an economy. They don't learn. You see the video of the guy who was attorney in the U.S. talking about the immigration, even gelobt Afrikaner asylum in the United States. No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Dad was a heavyweight boxer. Oh, wow. Okay, all right, now we're going to get to these videos. Okay, so thank you for that one from Orsay. I'll check them out. Okay.
ID.
I don't want to join. I want to subscribe. Okay, so I've subscribed to that channel. Now let me get to show you some of the stuff we're talking about. So this one here, this guy here, hanging with Coop.
Savings you just can't beat.
Coop's Corner. This one here is a black American investigates all-white town in South Africa. There's no such thing.
a.m. We're going to catch our bus at 12 p.m. to Hope Town and on our way to Orania, guys. So Buckle up. This is going to be a legendary video. We are going to investigate the all-white town, Orania.
Oh, legendary, the all-white town of Orania. The all-white town of Orania. Going to be a legendary video. Legendary propaganda bullshit, brother. Legendary propaganda bullshit. Yep, let's see what he's got to say here.
And the flavor?
Vanilla, please. So what is this called? What is this store called?
It's a pot stall, rental, this one.
Nice.
It's a pod style. He has no idea what the hell a pod style is. Okay.
Ooh, this is real deal. Okay.
Yeah, so welcome to South Africa. Orania is obviously an Afrikaner town.
So, notice that he didn't say welcome to Orania, he said welcome to South Africa. And this guy going to rubbish, just like the wheelchair-bound fake Nigerian who did this. Okay, here's Just, and let's see what Just has to say to him.
And of course, we want to grow the town's economy, we want to grow the town's success and so on. But our priorities are not necessarily the newest and the shiniest vehicles.
Yeah.
Our priorities is our community and our people. These are houses from the 60s. We rebuild, repair, sometimes demolish, build over.
That's how South Africa used to be. You could ride around without those huge walls and fences at one point. And look, all the work being done by white guys. You know, see, I get a kick out of this. I always talk about how they're racist and everything, and whites are lazy. They have to rely on black labor, but there's no black labor being relied on in Orania.
Metal.
Do they speak English? Yeah. So, how long have you guys lived here in Orania?
Orania.
Yeah.
A year?
8 years.
8 years? How do you like it here?
Very nice.
Very nice. All right, well, thank you guys. I don't want to disturb you. Thank you. So this is the dorm right here.
Okay, there's no college in Orania. That's this guy doesn't always talk about college as a high school. He's making a video for Americans. He puts college down, which will mislead Americans thinking there's a university in Orania. There's no university in Orania. Yep, yep. Anyway, so here he is talking to Just. And look at that! Look at that face! Look at the face on him. What a disgusting look on this guy's face.
Thabo Mbeki Trust also visited Orania.
What happens if an outsider comes into Orania unannounced?
An outsider comes into Orania unannounced. He's making it as if this is a walled, armed guard, crew serve weapons community in which nobody can enter. It's there. You can drive into the place. Good Lord.
That happens on a daily basis, and I think the pretext to that question is what are their intentions? Many outsiders come to Orania on a respectful manner, and they come to visit our shops as they pass through. Orania is located on a national road, so people...
Look at that! Look at that face! Look at that disgusting, contemptuous face on this guy. What a contemptuous face on this guy. Hey, Coop, what's your problem? By the way, what a shitty looking tattoo he's got on his arm there. Let's jump forward here. Let's see who he's talking to now. Look at this. This guy doesn't believe anything he's hearing. He wants to believe his worldview.
I'm going to get back to you with more of the raw, uncut truth of the all-white town in South Africa.
Well, I'm going to tell you right there, raw, uncut truth, it's not an all-white town. That's bullshit. It's an Afrikaner town. And if you're an Afrikaner who espouses Afrikaner values and speaks Afrikaans and is Dutch Calvinist and is willing to abide by the town rules established by the corporation, you can live there. So stop spreading your propaganda bullshit there, Hanging Coop. And I give that video a thumbs down. Thumbs down. Isavak says, why would you even watch this? Cheap emotional bait. Because this clown has 103,000 subscribers and this video has 103,000 views. I do a video on the truth about Orania and it has 300 views. That's why I show it. Because the propaganda wins. You have to refute the propaganda. You can't simply ignore it. These people are running around telling these bullshit stories. Why do you think people believe this shit about South Africa? Why do you think they believe that whites are racist? Why do you believe the nonsense of this other clown? Let me find that where he talks about, blaming whites for all the stuff that's going on in South Africa and said this idiot here. I don't know who this twit is here, but let me see. Let me get this clown. This guy's a real clown. He's got 532,000 subscribers. Listen to this jackass. You have to refute this bullshit. That's why I listen. My job, okay, when you're asking that question, why do I watch this? Why do I bother News 24? Because they spread propaganda and someone must give the facts and objective analysis. I do that. I do that. So people know it's out there so you can refute this.
White House calls the egregious actions of South Africa.
Listen to the smarmy, dripping words of him. The egregious actions of South Africa.
According to Trump, South Africa is confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. And it's pretty clear he's talking about white South Africa.
Actually, dipshit, it's not clear he's talking about white South Africans. He never said white South Africans. You're retarded, juvenile, leftist, liberal, stupid, hate-wanking, bullshit, fuckwad, fucktwit, stupid, uninformed worldview. Doesn't mean white people, dipshit. It's Afrikaners, which is not defined by the State Department. So you can take your racist bullshit, little Mr. Twit there, who's got 500,000 subscribers. 500,000, pure evil. Pure evil. Look at this bullshit. Look at that smarmy little face there. God. You know, God is good. He's going bald. God's going to make him pay. Smarmy little twit. Meanwhile, of more interesting, what we want to hear. Francois van Kock. Karen Zoid. Much more pleasant to listen to. All right. Now, back to the racist thing you guys were talking about. All right, this is on a channel with 302,000. Okay, so, you know, it's interesting because someone just asked me, why am I watching that? But then 40 people are like, have you seen the one from the guy who's talking about calling white people dogs? I mean, I get it from this side, I get it from this side. What am I supposed to do? Don't watch this stuff? Watch this stuff? Come on, guys. You know, 40 people here. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Have you seen it? I'm getting text messages, WhatsApp, emails. Have you seen this guy calling white people dogs, saying that they're inferior? Yes, and I'm going to show you that. And then I show you this other one, people are like, why are you watching that? Seriously? Seriously. You can't please everybody, so you shouldn't try. You shouldn't try to please everybody.
I've been watching Super Bowl for a long while. You know what I mean? And I won't lie, in Kenya, Lelea performance at Kendrick.
Are you serious?
Yo.
Oh, so he loves Super Bowl. He loves Super Bowl. This thing is an hour plus, something like that. I'm going to have to jump ahead here. And I can't, all this stuff.
Yeah, Atlanta International.
Yeah, the Hartsfield-Jackson.
Yeah. It gives you an idea.
So he's talking about landing Atlanta. Where does he get here?
Like Drake also.
So all this American culture, and then he craps all over white people.
For the sense of occasion. And he completely missed. You know.
Okay, I don't know where his racist stuff is at. It's in here somewhere. Where's the closed caption? Let's put that up there. Maybe it'll show. That might help me there.
Think they dislike you and they meet you and they get a completely different impression than if people think that they love you. And
well, trust me, buddy, I'm not going to love you after hearing what you had to say.
yes, that was the doctrine. That's what my sister also taught me. You know, my sister is a doctor in economics. So all these things were being told to us. Oh yeah, South Africa is supposed to last up until 30 years. What happens after 30 years? All of a sudden, we're now being treated as a pariah.
You are a pariah. Gee, I wonder why. Oh, here we go.
An Indian in Durban, you know, where they call their parents Lanis, you know what I mean?
Anyway, he gets this. I'm gonna go through. It's gonna take me a long time to do this, but this is the guy who called whites dogs and said that we're genetically inferior, and there's no lawsuit against him by the South African High Commission, South African Human Rights Commission. Yeah. Okay. Trump is USA first, so his reasons are all about that. Hustler's Corner has got mental problems. It's on the news. Failed evolution right there. Yep. Paid for by NC. Holy Macaroni is a professional yapper. Alexander, from my limited experience and research, I quite like North Carolina. Okay. It's nice, but not in the wintertime or summertime. Audrey, you really need a bottle of that Pinotage. You're going to get a heart attack. I don't need any pinotage. Thank you for that, Audrey, though. There's a lot of fake news about South Africa. There's another idiot from somewhere else that said the U.S. was pulling all their companies. Yeah, exactly. No, we're not pulling companies. Anyway, Chris, his second name is Durex, 25 cents after the condom. Let's bring Doge to South Africa. It's not racism if it's against white people. Yeah, well, you're right about that. Anyway, holy macaroni. He's a professional yapper. You guys are funny. They're trolling whites. You're 100% correct in setting records. Yeah, no, I have to, Annabelle. I have to do that because this is racist drivel from whites and from blacks. And it needs to be exposed. It needs to be exposed. Yep. Do you think if you request an audience with President Trump, he will be open to it? No, I'm just another American citizen. Trump will never talk to me unless somebody introduces me to him. Or someone shows him one of my videos. And he'll go, man, that's based. Get the colonel in here. Hope you're well and ranting on. Did you see the discussion? No, I didn't see it. Everyone's talking about it. I haven't seen it. Aaron Throats didn't mention it to me. Yep. Watch the latter part of the video. He's spot on the analysis and you missed the satire. It's satirical, Herman? So who's satire? Which video are we talking about? Are we talking about Hang with Coop or are we talking about that guy there? Yeah, I love that song too, Natasha. I love that. Yeah, that's how I first heard of Francois van Kolk. I didn't know him from Fokhof Policia until later. Thank you for the super chat there, Arctic. Had you on in the car. The kids want to know what dipshit means. Oh, woo! Gee, I take it the kids aren't in the car anymore. They've gotten to school now, Arctic. Is it safe? Is it safe to say something? Tell me. Johan de Villiers, don't come here talking about your Svot cunt. We're not here to talk about Svot cunt or Vit cunt. Wooey cunt. It's safe to talk. Which is it? They're in the car or it's safe to talk? You know what it means. Oh my goodness. All these racist black South Africans have the same look. Yeah, chin bum fluff. Yeah, unkept hair. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So Herman, which video in sarcasm? Okay. Where are we at here? Niels Brits, welcome to you. Thank you for being here. Nothing new about the White Dogs call. They've been singing and dancing. Yeah. People can Google or check a dictionary for the meaning of property. Yep. I really hate how racist the world is. Just shows you how insecure people are. You won't need to be a supremacist if you're just happy to be yourself. Well, 100%, Evie. I'm with you on that. We need people disavowing the bullshit propaganda, disproving. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing, Tunis Praetorius. That's exactly what I'm doing. So you've got another color other than pale. Bright pink. Yeah, I'm pink. This isn't white. This is pink, baby. Pink and proud of it. That's right. Pink. Pink revolution. Okay, there you go. That'll work. So I see people live very long in the U.S. all the way up to 100, 300. Yeah, I know, Armageddon. We are, all this propaganda about America as, isn't the healthiest place in the world to live. I mean, obviously it is. Our people live to be 360 according to the Social Security Administration. Pink and proper. There you go. I'm spamming Trump and Musk on X with your video, and they will notice it eventually. I hope so, Andre. I hope a lot of people do. Yeah. Cunt and Clar. Hey, Bongi called me a white cunt. He did. Vit cunt. Do you know of this Project Hammer? No, I'm not sure what's Project Hammer. There's probably a lot of things called that. Will the ANC ever change? Hey, Brett, how's it going? What are you doing up this hour, Brett? It's almost midnight for you. Hope us refugees get 320 years. Nice prospect. So I ordered a book, one that I read when I was a young man, but I didn't have a copy of it because I got it from a library. Anyway, that's not it, but this one here. So people are asking me about things to read. This is a very good book. I haven't read it all the way, but what I've read about it's Timeless Lessons on Wealth, Greed, and Happiness by Morgan Housel. It's called The Psychology of Money, and I'm frugal, so I didn't buy the hardback. I bought the paperback for $13. This used to cost $3.99. Now they're $14 for this in a discount warehouse. If I bought it in the darn bookstore, it would have been probably $20. Let me see. The actual cover price is $19.99, so $20 for a paperback. That's insane. But anyway, I bought this very good book, The Psychology of Money. So, but this is the book I want to show you. This book came today from Amazon. It's paperback. I read this book in 1978, 79 when it came out. And it's by John Stockwell, who was a CIA agent officer for 12 years. And he was the one that funded Holden Roberto and the FNLA, the Front for the National Liberation of Angola, in Angola. And it's In Search of Enemies, a CIA story. I read this, and it influenced me a lot about Africa in the late 70s, this book here. So Stockwell's still alive to my knowledge. I think he's in his 80s now. But this is a very good book. And this is a reprint. Obviously, you can see the text is from a reprint here. But yeah, pretty good stuff. So I'm going to reread this book. I haven't read this in over 40 years. Yeah, I'm going to see what my view today is as an adult compared to what my view was as a teenager when I read this. That will make for interesting reading. Okay. Can swap that book for 2 dozen eggs. In fact, no, a dozen eggs. A dozen eggs are $15. So I get like 15, not 12. Thoughts on the four-tracker movement? We've talked about this endlessly, Brett. The four-tracker movement was interesting. It reminds me a lot of America's settlement of the West. Fathers tried to give them independence. Why are you buying books when you barely sleep between streams? Well, you don't. Education is a lifelong process. Until the day that I'm put under, I will be, what a frightening prospect about that. But I will be learning and becoming better educated. Yeah, 2 eggs max. Yep, reading is important. Reading is fundamental. Okay, a black man once said, I wish there was something I could say to offend a white man. Everything offends a black because, what's this? I didn't see that. ANC is so slow, the refugees will be in the USA for 2 years and still receive SASA grants. Jacques, that's funny. Skalk van Wyk, black people call us umlungu, something like that. It means spit of the sea because I didn't know that's what that meant. Well, we're called Mzungu, which I think is where that comes from. That's a name from African language, Mzungu. So 150-year-olds are white. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to read the letter now from the congressman that was sent to President Trump, okay? This is the one that Ronaldo read, and he pointed out to me. I had seen it, but I kind of disregarded it for a couple of days, but then I made a video on it. Let's see how that video is doing. 367 people here. By the way, folks, either there's fatigue setting in or people have lost interest in my channel, because I'll tell you that we've really slowed down, which I expected to happen, but I didn't expect it to happen so fast. So just to give you an idea, yesterday's live stream at night went 4,433 people, and tonight we have just 2,000. 2,000. Let me see the number of views. 2,200. Yeah, it's still going up, so people are still coming in, but that's a lot less than last night. Just maybe the day of the week, middle of the week. But my video that I made last night about Congress urging Trump to sanction South Africa or cut it regulations, that one is only at 19,000 views, so it's doing okay, but it could do better. The one I did yesterday about Trump rebuffing the South African delegation, that one's at 74,600, but it's dropped off. These videos, if I don't get it in the first 24 hours, now they're dropping off. I'm getting about 300 or 400 views per hour now, but it is late at night, so it could pick up later today. So I shouldn't say that. It's early morning in South Africa. So anyway, and we're up to 46,144 subscribers. So very quickly, how that came out, we've slowed down precipitously the past few days for that. So there was a really steep guide path. We got 2,000 one day, but the past few days. So we started the 16th at 44,571. Thank you, Clint, for your membership. 44,571 went to 45,058. So that wasn't even 500. That's I mean, not complaining, but that's the lowest number we've had in a couple weeks in one day. Then the 17th to the 18th, we went from 45,058 to 46,144. So we're back to 1,000 today. I guess I'm panicking for no reason. We gained over 1,000 today, but I'm desperate to get to that 50,000 mark. So when I talked to Villain Pets earlier today, he and I were talking. I said, yeah, your channel was quiet for a long time. He goes, yeah, I know. I didn't put anything on here for a couple of years, and I still have 50,000 subscribers when I came back. I said, yeah, I noticed that. He said, yeah, but I've been back for like 10 days. I got 64,000. I'm like, yeah, I know. I was about to catch you. Now I'm never going to catch you. Never going to catch you. Damn it, Venom Petzer. I'm never going to catch your channel now. The only reason he has so many subscribers is probably because they're black, and he got away with many things. Catherine, thank you. I have a lot of black subscribers, too. I have a lot of colored subscribers. We're not crying about it. Went forth and slaughtered many floppies. I think we're beyond that. Heavy rain nonstop since Saturday. Are you going to float away? Sorry about the typo. What was the typo? Garrett Gillich is here. Where you been, man? You're up early. Francois Leroux. The algorithm. Keep going. More people are finding out about this. Yeah, Skulk, I'm not stopping. I was in Mzungu in Tanzania for 6 years. I'm a mining engineer, 30 experience. I will contribute to U.S. mining. Oh, well, thank you, Alexander. That's awesome. Yolanda, some people might be on their way to work and stuck in traffic. Oh, no. But I mean, yeah, that's possible. No, I always update my viewers on how the channel is doing. I don't hide anything for anybody. And that's because I remember when a certain channel was removed from YouTube, like a third time, they had 100,000 subscribers they removed. And then they made a video about me and they said, his channel only has no subscribers. And I think I had 7,000 subscribers and they dissed me. And I'm like, well, 7,000 subscribers is not indicative of the quality of the content or the insightfulness or the prescient predictions that I make. Not at all. Not even remotely. Anyway, when I'm done here, I'm going to have to make a video tonight. Hey, Brett gave us super chat. Thank you, Brett. Why did the ANC neglect an anti-AIDS program? Because of Thabo Mbeki. Thabo Mbeki has a thin skin and he has penis envy. And anytime you mention sexual behavior, he incorrectly infers that you're talking about the promiscuity of black men. Not what anybody was talking about, but that was his. And so he decided that, HIV didn't come from, it wasn't the cause of AIDS, but it was poverty caused AIDS. Remember that? He said poverty caused AIDS. Really? Poverty causes AIDS. Does it cause racism? Does it cause stupidity? No, it doesn't cause any of those things. Poverty doesn't cause AIDS. It may exacerbate it. People not having proper health care and proper nutrition could be exacerbated, but it's not the proximate cause of it. So he denied that HIV was the cause of AIDS. And famously, Minister Beetroot told people to eat beetroot and Recreo. Of course, she was an alcoholic. She obliterated her 1 liter by drinking herself into stupors and then jumped the queue and got a liver, and someone else died because she got to go to the front of the queue because she was a Marxist, communist piece of human sludge. She's dead now, too. Remember her? Remember her? Private property side, nothing wrong with choosing who you invite on your property. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I meant to get signed today. I'm going to have to get it tomorrow. Damn it, I forgot that. I got late getting out and I forgot to stop and get something. There are lots of lawyers and those thinking they know it all taking utter crap. Yeah, they are. Yeah, Anita, exactly. That's why, not to rubbish the Orze site, because what that guy said was correct, but he just did 3 days ago. So 3 days ago would be the 16th. That would be a full 2 weeks after. So that would have given somebody time to go read and learn about it. I was put on the spot on the 7th of February and answered your questions factually, correctly, instantaneously about that. If I don't know the answer, I'll get it. But I've been answering this question about what a refugee and an asylum seeker is and pointing out the difference and calling the media on the carpet and all the people mistakenly saying things since the outset. So I'm not rubbishing that other site, but lots of people are jumping in the fray now. Everybody sees a golden egg here to go after it. I've been reporting this stuff forever. And they're all welcome reporting it, but don't mislead people. The lawyers going on SABC a few days back saying it'll take 4 to 5 months for people to get to America. You don't know that. You're talking about something else. And he said it'll take you 4 or 5 months to get asylum in America. No, it won't. You'll never get asylum in America. If you're applying for asylum in South Africa, you're going to be ignored. You can't get asylum outside America. You have to be in America legally, then ask for asylum from the place you came from because you fear persecution or you've been persecuted. Yeah, refugee status is something completely different. Okay, so no TV, many babies. Being super popular on social media is like being super rich in Monopoly. Yeah, but those people make a super lot of money. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you that there's a lot of quan in this YouTube thing for those who have over 100,000 subscribers. If you have over 100,000 subscribers, you make a shitload of money. I'm serious. 250,000. Anybody make 250,000 subscribers and they produce regular content are making a lot of money. I know that just from what I can make. Look, I've been honest with people. I made a video about Donald Trump a few months ago on my other channel. Thank you, Brett, for the other super chat. And this is extremely rare. I'd never get this, and I haven't replicated it, and only made this much money once in 5 years before. So don't go, oh my gosh, he's rolling cash. That video made $900 in 1 month. Advertising. YouTube takes 45% of that. So the video actually generated revenue basis about $1,600. One video, a 6-minute video. I got $900 from it. And of course, then the government takes half that in taxes, so I get $500. But the point is that the people who have 250,000 or more subscribers are rolling in the dough. They are. Clarity. 2 words in Zulu to understand. Umlungu, white, yes. Malunga, dirty white phone. Yes, thank you, Marquis Pretorius. Someone has explained that to me before. I think people thought the executive order would move much quicker, so the excitement is dying down a bit until we see something. I think you're 100% right, Hasbullah. But again, that makes my point. If people are only tuning in my channel because they want answers about the refugee status, then that means that they're not here for the compelling content or for my analysis or my stunning good looks. And it means they'll be passing through, which is fine. People are welcome to pop in, pass through. And even if you've come in, you watch it one time, you subscribe, and you leave your subscription there, I thank you for that. But we're really trying to spread the word and get more people informed. So I'm hoping to get larger and larger audiences. What I do pay close attention to is the number of returning subscribers, Vice News subscribers. And let me take a look at that very quickly here. So let me go to my analytics. And that's a big indicator of how your channel is doing as far as reaching a larger audience. So audience. All right. So returning subscribers have been outnumbering new subscribers every day except on January 30th, when I had 49,000 new viewers and 43,000 returning viewers. That was on January 30th. Now, some of those viewers watch more than one video, and that counted. So that's the only day that, now that would be healthier if it was new, which would mean YouTube would really be promoting it. So there's been a gap that just keeps getting larger and larger here. Let me show you this really quickly here. All right, so here you go. Let me show you this gap here. So you can see the blue line is the new viewers, and the purple line is returning viewers. You want that to be the inverse, not like that. So when I have new viewers lower than returning viewers, then I'm not getting a chance to gain viewers. Like here on this date, on February 11th, I had 33,000 returning viewers and only 9,000. That means my videos weren't promoted by anybody. And then we slide over here. I know you can't see it, kind of small, but for instance, on the 17th, 32,000 people watched were returning viewers and 10,000 were new viewers. So that's unfortunate. That means I don't have a great chance of getting new subscribers. However, this is good down here. Hang on a second. What's that stupid thing there? That page. Okay, here we go. So watch time from subscribers not subscribed down here, 62%. That's good. Subscribe 37. That's actually a very healthy stat. That means that I have a 2 out of 3 chance of those new ones coming in of getting a new subscriber, which is good. That means the content is compelling, or at least people think it's compelling enough to sign up for it. But yeah, anyway. Look, I'm very conscious, and people are like, they're like, why do you care about subscribers? Well, because look at the people come knocking on my door. I got people knocking on my door. They want to be on the program now. Okay, green feed technology. No, Anne-Marie, I didn't look at that. Jan van Riebeck introduced HIV. Really, I didn't know that. Truth is obfuscated in media houses, Chris. If you were a white South African, you wouldn't have been able to host such a channel as this. Democracy, point made. Well, Ronaldo has a channel like this. Roman had a channel like this. Germ had a channel like this. So what do you mean I wouldn't be allowed to do it? And they get much more. Their content is promoted in South Africa by South Africa's YouTube servers, but mine isn't. Jan Fiona says, this channel is like church 7 days a week. I'm in awe every minute. Fresh news on the destruction of the ANC crime cartel. Thank you. You're right. Orania is a business hidden behind a pretty story of culture. More moving there at this stage. You can't pay me enough to go there. Okay, Patches. I wasn't talking. Oh, someone else was. Struggle songs and power demonstrations last 2 evenings in our streets. Please, people, be safe. Be careful, Sherry. You're very entertaining, so I'm sure you'll get more and more supporters. Well, Natasha, we've had a look. I'm not looking a gift horse in the mouth. No, there's no Jacinda Ardern visiting my home. Yes. You will be locked in your homes for the duration of COVID, and we will charge you the $800 a night for that hotel that we put you in. Don't walk out. Our police will shoot you. Oh, what a great solution to COVID. Look at New Zealand. They have all the answers. Not. Anyway, Lauren Clegg says, I happened to come across your channel amidst the uproar about the refugee program, the best find ever. Your content is real and informative. You say as it is. Much appreciated. You're very welcome, Lauren. And I appreciate you being here. I love your avatar, by the way. Is that a sunrise? I can't tell. It's tiny. Please tell people about the channel. That's what I ask. Let's get you on Joe Rogan, Chris. He would love your content. Oh, yeah. No, Dad. Absolutely. You guys go bomb Joe Rogan. Look, I mean, the more people go there and keep mentioning me and telling people about me, the better chance. I mean, it's not a happenstance that Rob Hersoff asked to come on my channel and contacted me. Someone told him about me, or he remembered me, or he came across me, whatever it was. And Rob's fantastic. Love to have him on here. It was a great conversation. He's going to be on again Thursday. So Brett with another super chat. Capitalism and private property have in common with apartheid. I'm not sure where you're going with that. Yeah. Yeah, so, but you guys got to do it. I wound up on Gareth Cliff's show because my viewers kept going on Gareth Cliff and saying, you got to have the Colonel on, got to have the Colonel on, got to have the Colonel on, got to have the Colonel on. And eventually Gareth Cliff was like, okay, how do we get hold of the Colonel? And I wound up at Gareth Cliff, and I've been to his studios because he moved his studio. It used to be in Santa, well, still in Santa, but he moved to a new location. And I've done shows there, and I've been on, I've called in. In fact, the night this happened, I ended my stream. Remember that? I had all those people. I ended my stream after 4.5 hours or something like that to go on Gareth Cliff, and then I started another broadcast after that. Remember that, guys? That night from 8:30 in the evening until 4:30 in the morning, I was live streaming. Yep. Who watched Matt Gates? I haven't seen it. Haven't seen it. Sunrise. Thank you for that, Lauren. Please say. What people need to realize is what you believe creates your reality. Comprehension is how your brain works. Explains that Dr. Carol Leaf, a brain surgeon now living in the USA, did wonderful work. Okay. Similar past tense. Who has a channel like yours today? Ronaldo? Isn't Ronaldo's channel like mine? Isn't Morning Shot still like mine? Off our Connor Boer? Are you saying that Morning Shot isn't like mine? Isn't provocative? I know that the ANC finds it provocative. I don't think they even care about my channel. Please like, sub, and share. It's one of the very few places where you get centered, based, and grounded views. Thank you, Nick. Actually, I'm the only one watching your news. That explains a lot, Lorette. No wonder we're so lonely here. Oh, did the apartheid government recognize capitalism and private property? Yeah, they did. But it was a government that ran things on a socialist model. I'm not sure they wanted it, but almost out of need. So, Gideon says Joe Rogan is the dumbest person alive. Fun to watch, but a Domkov. I don't take any offense, Gideon. I'm not a fan of Joe Rogan. I don't get the appeal. I think you're presuming something. The fact that I said I would please tell him you want me on a program, just because I want to go on his program doesn't mean I want to go on his program because I'm a fanboy. I'm not a fan of Joe Rogan. I don't get the appeal, and I've said this many, many times. For the people that know me for a long time, they can confirm this. I've said many, many times that I don't get the appeal of Joe Rogan. To me, he's the guy that wasn't funny as the handyman on news radio back in the 1990s, a sitcom. And I didn't follow UFC. That's not my cup of tea. So I didn't follow that wave. And he did Fear Factor too, I think. It was a stupid show. I hated it. And then he's had a podcast. I've watched his podcast a few times and I don't find him that compelling. But he has 100 million viewers or listeners. And, you know, if 100 million people can be introduced to the Colonel, I think we'll gain a few subscribers. Zuma, beetroot, and garlic. Yep. Okay. Germ warfare said HIV. Did he really? Did he? Yep. Yeah, tornado hit Pretoria. I covered that earlier. Sorry. Okay. Clarity. Okay, gotcha. How can I send you a screenshot from an immigration organization at Fort Lauderdale, which I received from a friend in North Dakota, just for you to make sure it's not Louis Liebenberg? Audrey Russ, you can send me an email, or if you're in one of the WhatsApp or Telegram groups, you can send it to me through that. We're getting Brett on the show. Brett who? Okay. Okay. What people need to realize. Okay, I already got that. Somebody jumped on me here. Lamola calling Trump is like a beggar on the corner swearing at me for not giving him money. Exactly. Exactly. Tinfoil hat. You'll get suppressed by YouTube. An American running these narrative screws the rival nation interests. Rivals with deep control of YouTube, most likely. Could be. Somebody bombed somebody. I didn't see that. Come on, come back here. Yes, edit channel. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there it was. Gideon. I just got back to it. So Gideon, yeah, I'm not a fan of Joe Rogan. I don't dislike him. I just don't find why people love him so much. But I'm happy to go on his program. Happy to go on there. Immigration org called Pollock from Fort Lauderdale. Fact check. Could be Louis Liebenberg. That's why I said do the comments in there, Anne-Marie. Correct. Don't worry, I love your content. Your news is the most unbiased. Thank you for that. Well, look, freely admit, Rainbow Dragon, I have bias. But there's a difference, and that's the world doesn't understand. It's like the people conflate racism and bigotry. They're not the same thing. Neither one of them is good, but racism is evil. Bigotry is just stupid. It's uninformed. There's lots of bigots out there. They just don't know better. They've been inculcated or trained or exposed to the wrong things, and they believe things about people that are simply stereotypes or factually untrue because that's what they've heard. But a racist doesn't like other people and does things to harm other people or to give people advantage based on skin color, and that's evil. You can reform a bigot. You can teach them. It may not be easy. You can break them of their bigotry. Look, some bigotry is fine. We all have bigotry, and bigotry is okay in certain contexts. For instance, here, kitty, 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 whoo, bite your hand off. That is a saber-toothed cat. You shouldn't be petting it. It's not a pussy cat, okay? So I have a bigoted opinion. Snakes. We don't like snakes. Humans as a species don't like snakes by and large. Some people like them. Steve Irwin, remember him, and stingrays. But most people don't like snakes, and that's because it's in our character not to like them. It's just kind of in our DNA. Anyway, and that's bigotry. So not the same thing. So it's important to make the distinction between the two things. It really is. When it comes to bias and objectivity, two separate things. Everybody's bias. I think America's the greatest country in the world. That's my bias. It's true, but it's my bias. Objectivity is different. America's the greatest country in the world, but we have a massive debt and we're in trouble. That's being objective. America is the greatest country in the world because we are the freest country in the world. That's true. But at the same time, I have to admit that the Biden regime violated the Constitution and censored people like myself, harming my business model and harming my news channel. And that means it wasn't such a free country. True statement. America's greatest country in the world, founded by brilliant men at the best time in history with the greatest collection of minds that were devoted to liberty and justice. True. But unfortunately, they made compromises that were necessary in order to form a union. They allowed the institution of slavery to exist like every other country in the world. They didn't stop it. They had the opportunity to stop it. It would have been truly unheard of in history for that to happen. But they did put a mechanism into the Constitution to end the institution of slavery. And they did the first time they expanded the country before the Constitution even was in effect with the Northwest Purchase, banned slavery in all the territory of the Northwest Territories acquired from Great Britain. The Northwest Territories later formed the states of Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, and Wisconsin. 5 states. Slavery was never legal there. Never legal there. So anyone who wants to talk reparations for those states can go shove it. They never had legal slavery. Never happened. Yeah, so that's objective. That's objective. Okay? Bias and objectivity. Most people who report these days are biased and lack objectivity. They lack objectivity, and that's the problem. News 24, there's no objectivity whatsoever. IOL, no objectivity. Yep. Chris is a celebrity in South Africa, introverted. Yeah, I guess I kind of am a celebrity. I'm not making any claims, and you don't rubbish me for saying that, but you all tell me that, and I go all over the place, and people recognize me out of nowhere. So, I mean, that doesn't happen if you're not known. You should be the Mr. Beast of YouTube news. Your channel deserves more attention. Thank you, Roxy. We'll tell people about me. Tonight, I was at the VFW place, and there's a veteran there who I know, enlisted guy, really good guy with his family, with his wife and his daughter who just had a baby. And they're nice people. They come in once a week for quiz night on Tuesday night, and I saw them and I chatted with them. And I've mentioned that I'm on YouTube before, and neither one of them had ever sank in. So I was talking about how the channel's been surging and all these people watching. And they're like, "What's your channel?" And he and his son-in-law right there pulled their phones out and became subscribers. I gained 2 subscribers just like that. Tiny De Beer says, Mori Chris und allemaal hier. Inleiding, wat je hier krijgt is die Wahrheit. Yeah, what you hear here is the truth. Thank you for that, Tanya De Beer. Cool says, I don't get the appeal of Gareth Cliff, a wanker. Gareth is entertaining and funny. That's what the appeal of Gareth Cliff is. And he has a wide variety of people on. You don't have to like him, but if you're fair, that's how he is. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, he has an audience too. So, a lot of people love Gareth Cliff. I mean, I know Ruthie does. She loves that show. Christian Fandevalt, that channel doesn't feed us bullshit every day. Love the content. We'll stay a subscribe. Thank you so much for that, Christian. Spread the word. Good morning, Chris. Just want to express my appreciation and gratitude for the unseen hours of sweat and toil you put investigating the issues and adversities that we see in South. You're very welcome, Clint, and I've been doing it for a long time. Unfortunately, I'm hoping the weather gets better soon so I can take breaks, and because it's with my hip, it's it's well below freezing out there. And while I don't mind walking around in the winter when I'm hobbling and kind of sort of limping and not having a full stride, it's not fun on top of the cold. And I need to get back out there for my health. I haven't been exercising lately. I really want to get started, but it's mid-February, and by mid-March the weather will be getting better, unless that damn groundhog was correct. James Moriarty's back. Is anybody seen Sherlock Holmes? His nemesis Moriarty is in the room. Welcome. Offense not taken but given. We need to take responsibility for our behavior. We allow or create our problems by giving our power away. Yeah, shalom. I don't disagree with that. We all have to have agency. Robert ZA is back. Been here with us for a long time. There's Matthew Dixon, America's mid-Iran. Now that's a great country. Is anyone prepared to spill the beans on the WhatsApp group number? I couldn't find anywhere. Well, yeah, happily, Clint. Looks like my moderators. Oh, there it is. Debbie put it up. I was just about to criticize my moderators. Yeah, the first WhatsApp group is full. Nothing is going on it. Nothing's going on it. The Telegram group is where you need to go. And I'm sorry if people, I'm not going to keep creating WhatsApp groups. You're allowed 1,500 people in a group. I have one group. We did 1,500. The interest was so strong, we created a second group. I'm not going to put more because I have to update each of those groups. No one can update except moderators and me, and it's only verified content or my analysis videos, nothing else. Not anyone else's analysis, because I'm not going to take blame for what they said. I'll just stand by what I say or don't say. So that's what those groups are for. I encourage you to get on Telegram. I don't care what people told you about it. It's a reliable app, and you're welcome to get on there. So the Telegram group, instead of 1,500 people in a group, I can have 220,000 people in a group. So I don't anticipate the Telegram group ever filling up and being over full. So I'd encourage you to go there. But if you get into the WhatsApp group, and let me just open it up now and see how many people are currently waiting in there. WhatsApp group number 2, refugee admissions. That's the first one. So I'll go to the first one. There's 119 people asking to join that group, but it was full. Let me see if anybody's dropped off. Okay, one person dropped off, and that's it. One person. So I had one person on the list. Okay, and then the other one, 4 people asking to join. The one is still open. That one has 1, 2, 3, 4 people just got in that group, and that group has 900 members. So I can take another 600 in that one, but then I'm not going to do it. I think someone else was creating a WhatsApp group, and I'm not doing any more. Those 2 will be updated, and I'm not creating any more. Okay, Trump. Hey, Renee, starring. Yeah, too much freedom can be a thing. Yeah, right. Loretta, Chris, which state does not have snakes and spiders? They all got snakes and spiders. I haven't got this letter yet. Okay, Gideon had a question here. It says, your debt is owed to mostly Americans, so not a big deal. Trump just scrapped debt owed to Americans. He's on day 29 of his dictator for a day tour. Who's going to stop him? Gideon. Why do you come here with your bullshit? You were correct. I like how you put factual statements here. 2/3 of the debt the federal government owes is owed to Americans, and American institutions. That's a statement of fact. But you can't scrap the debt. It's unconstitutional, Gideon. It's the only thing in the Constitution that the federal government is required to pay for. It's the most basic fact. We must pay our debt. That is the one thing, because we saw what countries that couldn't pay debt, what happened to them. So it's the only obligation in here. Social Security, foreign aid, federal employees, on air aviation, none of that's required by the Constitution. Those are required by laws. Only debt is required. So it cannot be scrapped, cannot happen. It's unconstitutional. So that's the first thing. Trump is not dictator for a day. State one thing where he's dictator of the day. Please, Gideon. You love to come in here with bullshit, so I'm gonna play along with you. Give me one thing where he's been a dictator. Not one thing is dictator. Everything Trump has done has been within the rule of law, has been in accord with the Constitution, and in accord with his powers as a chief executive. The only thing that's questionable is his decision to ban birthright citizenship. It's questionable whether he has the authority to do that, but that's a legal question. I don't think he does. I wish he did, but I don't think he does. But that 14th Amendment is not something he can just abrogate. That's the one thing he's done that's questionable. That doesn't make him a dictator because he has one thing where he has a difference of opinion. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection laws. So that's the equal protection clause of the 14th Amendment, Section 1. So the question here is, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. If a person is in the country illegally, they are not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. They're under the jurisdiction of another state. They are a national of another state. Therefore, if their child is born here, they should not be entitled to birthright citizenship because they're here illegally. Their illegality negated the fact the child was born here and they are a national of the state they came from. That is the argument. That's a legitimate argument. I don't know if he'll win it. It must go to the Supreme Court. That is the only thing that Trump has done that anyone could actually remotely say is questionable. Him canceling federal employees, that's within his purview. Him cutting money, that's under his discretion, that's within his purview. Everything he's done is within the executive branches. Never pay no attention to the white noise of all the lawsuits. That's the leftists losing their minds and raising money to try to stop Trump because they're evil and anti-American scumbags. Please, please, South Africans, do not take our shoes off when you get on the plane. See a bunch of people with stinky feet. What are you talking about? It won't garner too many views, but I love the video you did next to the river and having a train come over in the background. Yeah, that was pretty cool, Nick. Yeah, I enjoyed that, but it's too cold to do that now. The wind was blowing that day, but it wasn't nearly as cold as this. I found a spot along the river. I do that occasionally. I did one in front of my front door. Did you guys see that one? Which one did I do in front of my front door? I thought that was pretty cool. I just did that. Which one was that? It was the land grabs one. I think that was the one. Hang on. View on YouTube. I think it was the land grabs one I did. It's playing an advert. That's good news. Make a little bit of money there for myself. Skip. Yeah, this is the one. I did this on my front porch. People said that was a Christmas decoration. No, it's a winter decoration. It's winter time here.
Africa in the Eastern Cape near Fort Jackson on the N2 outside East London, where people are just jumping out of cars, staking claims to privately owned land, and just a free-for-all land grab. So we saw this at the beginning of February in Seshejo, which is a...
So
outside.
I was attacked by Braxton Clemens, racist dipshit deuce on YouTube on that video, telling me, oh, so some American sees a bunch of cars drive along the road and talks about land grabs and starts laughing. And I said, no, dipshit, no, you're wrong. I verified this video, and I have verified it with a third source, and that was what was happening there. And not only that, but I talked about Seshejo, and SABC themselves talked to the land grabbers, the squatters, and had them on camera. They were proud of it. And this guy's going to try to rubbish me because I'm an American. Screw you, buddy. Franco Dutoy. Raining cats and dogs. Yeah, people have been saying that. Lots of rain. Thanks for an awesome channel filled with truth. You're very welcome, Franco. It won't go. Okay, got that right. So, Chris, I'm in the process of vacating South Africa to my brother in the U.S. next 24 hours. Richard, I assume that you're allowed to come here. You're coming here legally. Are you? I'm not going to ask. I hope you're coming here legally, not as a tourist and hoping to overstay. By the way, if you're coming here, and I don't know your status, you don't have to answer, but if you're coming here on the hopes that the refugee program be approved and you're going to be in the U.S., I'm going to tell you right now, once you're in the U.S., no matter what your status is, you cannot apply for refugee status. So if that's the program you want to come over on, you're going to have to go back to South Africa and then apply. If you're coming over because you won the visa lottery, congratulations. If you've come over because you apply for a permanent residence card and you've been given that, congratulations. But be safe coming over. DA has a new BE now, and they say it's worse than the current. Just saw Petzer post. I haven't watched it. Yeah, I haven't seen that either. I haven't seen that either, but people tell me to watch it. I bet a stinky comedy is eating this. Your debt is owed mostly Americans. Okay, I already read that. So Gideon. Richard Anthony Steele. Okay, that's who I just addressed. Hey, Tony Nations in from the oil sands of Alberta. When are the United Nations going to be called out? They're not. Nothing's going to happen. For real, is that cold there? Okay. Is there a way I can pay a year subscription up front? I'm unemployed and I don't want to be unable to pay. No, Clint. No, there's no way to do that. YouTube doesn't like to do it. Clint, if you're unemployed, please do not pay for a subscription. Please do not. Again, thank you to people who have super chatted. I'm very grateful for that. I appreciate the super chats. It's lovely. It's wonderful to super chat. But I'm going to ask you, if you don't have the means, please don't do that, okay? I'm not destitute. I'm not here to become wealthy, although it would be nice. I'd love to have that flexibility. It would certainly open up windows and doors for me to do things that I can't do now because I'm self-funding all my travel and all this coverage. But please do not give money that you don't have. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. That's your priority. What you can do for me is subscribe to the channel, and when you have the ability, you have the data, and you're willing to watch it. Tell other people about it. Convince them that this is a place to be. That's all I ask of people. There's some Richie Riches in the crowd. You guys got money. You can give it up. So, relatively new here. Great show with objective reporting. I must enjoy you sticking to NC. Well, Veritas, I also stick it to the DA. And I really stick it to MK and especially to EFF. I've been doing that for a long time. Look, I stick it to the rhinos, to the Republicans when they get it wrong. So I don't tolerate BS. I'm relatively new here. Okay, thank you for that, Veritas. Okay. I heard Sheryl Crow sold her Tesla and donated proceeds to NPR. Anyone still driving a swastika should take note. What? Do you ever sleep? Always live, always posting new videos. Thanks from South. You're welcome, Erwin. Well, it's an eventful time in history, and one can choose to be doing what I do. One can choose to be an observer. One can choose to be a participant. I'm choosing to be a participant in the hopes of changing the trajectory of world history. It's what I did in Africa. I've saved hundreds of thousands of people from starving to death. I have improved the lives of probably a few million people across the continent of Africa. And I have treated those who worked for me with grace and dignity and uplifted them throughout my entire life. And so that's my mark left on the world. And I can either be an observer, I can be a participant, and I'm an active participant in trying to change things for the better. Been living up north for the past few years. Nothing like warm sun and blue skies. Okay. WhatsApp group says does not exist. You need to reload, Clint. I think that WhatsApp is that Facebook is blocking that. The group does exist. I will give you the link. I don't know if someone's giving the wrong link. I will give you the link right now. So you want the Refugee Missions Program number 2. Here it is. I don't know what link that she put in there, if there was a missing character, but that's the group I guarantee you that'll take you there. If you're not getting there, then you're being blocked by Facebook. Had to rush. What age home? What's that? What's going on there? Did you see the video on Isaac Duplessis' program about the Black Rider calling? Okay, that's what that was. Okay, people are conflating things, saying Isaac was talking about me. Yeah, I think they're making sense. No, I haven't seen it, but it's also on Willem Petzer. I've downloaded the video. I'm going to go through it and do a video about that. But I'm going to be very careful about what I air because I don't want the South African Human Rights Commission accusing me of spreading stuff. You know, the people who posted the Ronaldo video in which they edited and exposed that, those people should be facing equality court charges because they misled the public, and they're the ones put out there, not Ronaldo. Gideon's a genius, okay? Wow, Gideon, you know, wow. Why is Gideon's comment on here? Oh, give me a break. I just got to where I was looking for and the tab crashes. Frickin' YouTube. Swear to God. Really annoying. So, Gideon, you're going to be blocked forever next time you open your asshat mouth and spew feces out of it. So, just a warning, if you've left, Gideon, you're not going to find your way back here. Your rudeness to my audience is not appreciated, so fuck off. Farkas, hope you're well. Just want to confirm once there is an update on the refugee status application, will it be added to the group? Are you asking me if I'll put the application there? I don't know. If it's downloadable, I'll give you a link to it. I'm not going to put the document there because I don't want someone to accuse me. But once it's available, once the program is established, I'll share all the information and I'll share links to it. Yeah, but I'm not going to put the documents there. That's not my plan. Cheery, my mom is a Victorian. She just sent a message with her blessing to me and my husband to go to the U.S. They will not leave. She says her life is here, but wants us to do it. Well, that's unfortunate, Marissa. I don't know how old your mom is. Thing is, I work on a farm long hours and don't always see the lives. No, Farkas, that's okay. I appreciate that. I know what it's like. I was a farmer. I was a dairy farmer, and it's a lot of work. Briscoe says, get out of here. Gideon has just been given a 24-hour timeout, Congo Chris, and he's been warned. If he comes in with his bullshit, he's going to get banned tomorrow. I don't need subscribers desperately that I have to tolerate bullshit artists. Yeah, he'll get banned for life. Careful, Pablo. You tread that line sometimes, too. Okay, I'm going to read this letter now. I finally got through all that chat, 2.5 hours into it, and talking to you and answer your questions. Okay, folks, here we go. This is a letter from members of Congress, 4 Republican members of Congress, sent to the President of the United States. And it's pretty shocking what they say in here. Not dishonest, but shocking. This is dated a week ago on February 11th. I saw the letter, but I just ignored it for a couple days. And then Ronaldo did a video and asked me to talk about it. So Ronaldo asked me to make videos several times because I'm in the U.S. and he wants people to hear my view. So sometimes I accede to that. This is one of the times. Okay. Dear Mr. President, the golden age of America has begun. In a matter of weeks, you will have rejuvenated the American spirit. Countries whose governments have routinely undermined our national interests have met the full throttle resolve of this American government, and you've continued to defend the people of our great nation without question and without apology. These remarkable accomplishments notwithstanding, however, the Republic of South Africa is in an apparent need of a reminder of what happens when American interests are marginalized. Shots fired. Due to its numerous human rights abuses, its vendetta against the state of Israel, and its embrace of the Chinese Communist Party, we urge you to revoke South Africa's preference benefits under the African Growth and Opportunity Act. It's Africa Growth and Opportunity Act. We would also suggest that you consider suspending diplomatic ties unless that government is prepared to engage constructively with our own. The ethno-nationalist gangster regime in Pretoria, working to be the undisputed successor to Mao's destructive land reform policies, has for years attempted to expropriate land from native South Africans without compensation. Pretoria's human rights abuses against her own citizens likely constitute a violation of 19 U.S. Code 3703, specifically that the South African government has failed to demonstrate a consistent fidelity to the rule of law. Violation of this or any AGOA eligibility requirement would make South Africa ineligible for preference benefits. First passed in 2000, AGOA affords eligible sub-Saharan African countries duty-free access to the U.S. for most exports, in return for prioritizing free markets and the rule of law. Importantly, however, even the previous administration's own assessment of South Africa's human rights practices found significant abuses. The Biden regime discovered the following. including unlawful and arbitrary killings, arbitrary arrest or detention, serious government corruption, trafficking in persons, and extensive gender-based violence, including femicide. Wow. Pretoria's continued insistence on undermining American security and foreign policy interests are similarly disqualifying under the eligibility criteria. And who has been telling you that since 2020 on this program? I've been telling people since it happened in 2018, that was inside the government. I've been telling the public since 2020 that they're ineligible for a GOA, they should be suspended. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. In 2023, after Hamas terrorists invaded Israel, murdered 1,200 Jews, and captured hundreds of hostages, including Americans, South Africa filed a baseless claim before the so-called International Court of Justice, absurdly accusing Israel of wanting to destroy the Palestinians in Gaza. A November 2024 report by the Institute for the Study of Global Anti-Semitism and Policy further highlighted the extent to which Hamas maintained close ties with the then-ruling party of South Africa, the African National Congress. In fact, South Africa has for over a decade allowed two Hamas-controlled charities, the Al-Aqsa Foundation and the Al-Quds Foundation, to operate within South Africa's borders. For decades, officials of the South African government have acted as Hamas propagandists. Naledi Pandor, case in point, using the international community to lift trade sanctions and otherwise engage with U.S. designated foreign terrorist organizations. In October 2024, several members of Congress sent a letter to your predecessor, Joe Biden, and encouraged him to confront South Africa over its self-abasing advocacy of the Chinese Communist Party. At that point, South Africa had, without cause and in violation of a 26-year-old agreement, told Taiwan to move its representative office, which it owns, out of Pretoria. After a few months, South Africa has once again renewed its request, telling Taiwan at the behest of the People's Republic of China, no doubt, to move out by March 31st, 2025. The PRC's unabashed global commitment to Taiwan's diplomatic marginalization, if successful, would provide every reason for the PRC to commit an invasion of the island. This would be contrary to our national interest and the interest of those who prioritize peace over conflict. South Africa is simply not deserving of duty-free access to the American market. Well, I've been telling you that for years. After 4 years of a government that emboldened our enemies, Americans are thrilled to have a president willing to punish our adversaries and promote the national interest. We appreciate your consideration of our request and thank you for your extraordinary efforts on behalf of our fellow citizens. The United States of America is safer and stronger because of your generational leadership. Signed, Andrew Ogles, Joe Wilson, Tom Tiffany, and Don Bacon, members of the House of Representatives. SKV9 is not a troll. SKV9's put some big super chats here. So is he trolling now? That might be the case. I don't know. Okay, so what's going on here? What did I miss? Spiker Hunt is here. What's going on? The man came to his office, immediately delayed. Are you trolling about Trump, Spiker Hunt? Delayed the JFK files? He's very suspect. Delayed JFK files? I'm sorry. Were they released last week? Were the JFK files created in 2024, 2025? No, the JFK files are from 1963. So I really don't know what I'm talking about. And the Warren Commission is from after that. So what are you talking about? Donald Trump ordered their release. What kind of bullshit are you talking there, Spike on? Who are you talking about? Okay. Francois Rasmus, finance speech is going to be good for your channel, Chris. I expect a few more people. No, I'm not going to cover it most likely. What time is the finance speech? Anybody know? Because I've got Franz Crony on the program. So, and it's also Ronaldo tomorrow. So South Africa, a budget speech. Speech 2025. Okay, let's see what it says. Okay, a budget speech. Wednesday, February 19th. We'll give a time here. I'm going to the Parliament's website. It's a little slow because it's coming all the way from South Africa. The gerbils have to spin on the wheel in the northern Karoo. Still, there they go. They're finally there. Okay, Wednesday, February 19th at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. That means that's going to be paint drying. So 2 p.m. is going to be 7 a.m. for me. I don't think that I'm going to cover that, folks. It's going to be mind-numbingly boring. I'll do an analysis of it after the fact. Richard Anthony C. Chris, both my late parents' properties have been stolen here in South Africa. I'm so sorry to hear that, Richard. Finance speech, okay. Kali Maritz, hoeveel die mensen in Oranje oor die refugee program. How do the people in Oranje feel about the refugee program? I don't know, Kali. I don't think they would be interested in it. They seem pretty happy in Oranje for the most part. I don't know. I haven't asked them. I suppose I could contact Yus and ask him what the thoughts are about it. Yep. Shots fired, right? You're right. Shots fired. South Africa, we have a problem. What to do when your government is described as ethno-nationalist gangster regime? Working exactly. Yeah, the Epstein files. Okay. Everyone always mentions B. Okay. All right. 35 rhinos poached in Kruger since the beginning of the year. That's scary. Might take more than 5 days for people to go through 24,000 newly unclassified documents. Exactly, Congo Chris. Also, I don't know how much was redacted. I'm not interested in it. The Shroud of Turin? Yeah. What do you mean? Have you seen it in person? No. It's a fake. They proved it was a fake finally. Oh, they said so. Yeah, well, I didn't see it, so. It's going to be a crap show. Finances, they want to increase VAT. Yep. Well, there are a good couple of Iranian people wanting to go, but I've been told to keep it quiet. Yeah, no, there might be a few, but that's fine. But no one can speak for everybody in Iran. They live in a bubble outside the madness. Yeah, they do. Will gold be devalued soon? I don't think so. Why would you think gold's going to be devalued? With the uncertainty in the global markets, currencies are weak right now, so I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think that's going to happen. Is this my Year of the Snake? What is this? I got a Starbucks card here. It's got a snake on it. 2025, Year of the Snake. Yep, it's a Starbucks card for the Year of the Snake. Thought that's what that was. All right, guys. 355 people here, 448 likes. Can we push the likes up to 500 at least? Can we make that happen? Don't know why the government is doing a budget speech. They don't have any money. Oh, the Falcon launched. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, booster land in the Bahamas. I missed my chance. I used to cover those. Budget speeds. Thank you, Marquis Pretorius. I found already. 2 p.m. That's 7 a.m. for me, and that is in 5.5 hours. I don't think I'm going to get back up for that. It's not going to be that interesting, and, I'm just going to sit here and say snarky things. So click on the little sharp icon at the bottom of the screen. Helps the channel. It does. The bucket list is Route 66 on a Harley or an Indian. Indian, fantastic motorcycles, yep. Harleys are made right down the street from me. It's a half hour from here to the Harley plant. Harley Davidson is down the road. They actually have a museum there. Yep. Pathologist give his biased opinion for those interested. Okay, interested. Must have been awesome. What did Tony say? What's the story with Harley and Trump? I don't know. What's the story with Harley and Trump? I haven't heard about that story. That's news to me. Okay. Who was the DA? They couldn't even show their weight with ENC. Yeah, well, there you go, Delaney. That's what a lot of people are saying. Philip Kutsia says, I really do hope that Trump will have the whole refugee thing sorted out before he imposes sanctions. I want to at least have a couple of dollars to my name when I arrive in USA. Well, I really enjoy your live streams. Thank you, Jarethra. Thank you so much. I think it's the first time I've seen you comment tonight. Every time I try loading Telegram, it tells me it's sending a verification code to my other device. I have no idea what the heck that means. Well, it can't send it to your other device unless you've registered. So that doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. Something's not right there. Are you on an Android or are you on Apple? Make sure in the Play Store or on the Apple Store. Make sure in the right place and not a third-party place. Yeah, it won't send you to your other. I mean, that's two-party authentication. And that happens once you register for a lot of sites. They'll send you a link in your other device. I get that all the time. Trump praised Harley owners planning to boycott the company if it moves some manufacturing abroad. Okay, I didn't hear about this, John. That's news to me. Okay, thank you. Yeah, they're not off for cause because saying something doesn't count. I didn't hear that in Parliament. That's funny. Isla says, note, South African Chamber sent a link to a lawyer for application for refugee status where it states that we need to prove being racially discriminated against. No proof. That's not true, Isla. I don't know what they sent you. That's not what the law says. And if the South African Chamber of Commerce told you that, they're factually wrong. I find that hard to believe. But once again, this is the law right here. I know it's hard to see because of the light. That's the law. That's the excerpt. I took the exact statements out of the law. And what it says is, refugees, and you find us on the United States Immigration Service. You can find us at the State Department. Under the United States law, a refugee is someone who is located outside the United States of special humanitarian concern and demonstrates that they were persecuted or fear persecution. So this is BS. BS. You don't have to prove persecution. You just have to fear it. So you received an email. Well, whoever sent the email was full of shit. That's what they're talking about. Now, that doesn't mean the program won't require you to, but we don't know. That's an unknown. But the law doesn't specify that. The law says, have been persecuted, you can prove it, or you fear persecution. Again, I give the example of a homosexual in Damascus. If you're a gay man in Damascus, you live in fear that you'll be dropped off a roof to your death by ISIS or ISIL, whenever they're in charge there, or whatever, in Homs. They'll say they're not in Damascus. But you'll be dropped off the roof and murdered. Well, do we wait until you've been dropped off the roof to give you, then we can prove you were persecuted? Or do we give you refugee status based on the fact that you fear persecution? Whoever that was is full of crap, Isla. You received an email from them. Heard the East Coast radio that Ushaka wants refugees like the Afrikaans refugee. It's Sedgefield here. Okay. Saying about Fort Knox Range 2, I think in all this chaos, everything's possible. What? Gold used to be the world's financial standard. In one weekend, it was replaced by the U.S. dollar. No, that's not true, Afrikaner. Boer. The dollar was always the standard of trade, but the dollar was backed by gold. You got your story wrong. The dollar, since the Second World War, has been the international currency by default because the rest of the world was destroyed. It was the largest one, and people traded in dollars, and the U.S. poured aid into Europe in particular and into Japan to rebuild these countries, and the dollar was the tool. And the International Monetary Fund, the Bretton Woods Agreement, created the IMF and the World Bank, and those things were backed by dollars initially. So the dollar's always been there. But the dollar was backed by gold for a long time. But it's simply unfeasible. You can't back the amount of currency out there by gold. It's impossible. And if we had stayed on the gold standard, all y'all's currencies wouldn't be worth anything. So be grateful that Nixon took us off the gold standard. And do you know why we came off the gold standard? Most people have no idea. Because of Charles de Gaulle. He tried to destroy America. That whiny little bitch who left his frickin' Dien Bien Phu Vietnam debacle in our hands, and we sent our soldiers to die there because of fucking Charles de Gaulle and the French colonizers, and we inherited their shit mess and shit storm in Vietnam. Well, his little pissy ass was upset about America, and so he left the NATO command structure in the 1960s because he was an arrogant asshat French piece of filth, little baguette bugger boy, and left the NATO command and kicked the NATO troops out of France, but stayed in NATO. What a shithead. And then he encouraged people to take their dollars in the reserve banks and exchange them for gold, which was the norm. You could exchange your dollars for gold. So what de Gaulle started was a run on the U.S. Treasury and on our gold reserves. So they would send in $1 billion and give it to the U.S. Treasury and demand the gold in exchange, and we'd have to ship the gold to them. Nixon realized that the entire United States economy would collapse, and Charles de Gaulle was too stupid to see that he was collapsing the world economy because he's an arrogant Frenchy frog asshat. And what happened was we went off the gold standard. So the dollar was no longer backed by gold. It was only backed by the good faith and confidence in the U.S. government to pay it back. That's it. That's the story, what happened there. Yeah, it's easy to prove. Just bring up the racial laws. Examples, exactly. Good day for Panaco. Okay. According to economics, your mistake and the sudden change was called the Nixon shock. Seems UK history is taught differently to the USA. France sent a frigate for their gold. You just confirmed what I said. France sent a frigate for their gold. It wasn't their gold. It wasn't their gold. It was our gold. They got their frigate for their gold that we kept in safekeeping from the Second World War. That's true. But that's not why I went off the gold standard. And not according to economics. I actually attended university of macroeconomics. I have postgraduate work in this. So you can tell me that according to economics, who's economics? I never heard economics. Who's economics? Is he a PhD? Is he a body of work? No. Sorry, Afrikaner Boer. Not going to convince me. I actually have the education. I've done the research. A registered LLC, as we wanted to go to USA and have bank account, but the money just did not come to go to USA. SV says, "Will save your family around 2 million rand." What will save you 2 million rand? The refugee program? Yeah, it will, because you won't have to pay anything. Yep. Thank you for everything you do for Saudi, although you have no obligation to do so. You're welcome, James Duvall. My pleasure. Okay, Tricky Dick. That's what they called him, not Slicky Dick. Tricky Dick. How true is it that the U.S. might want to change to Bitcoin from dollars? Untrue. Untrue. That probably comes, it's an unfounded rumor because Trump has expressed some interest in crypto and spoke positively about it and talked about potentially having crypto endorsed by America. Lushan Esterhuizen. But as far as I'm concerned, a cryptocurrency being endorsed by a state is the death knell. People flock to cryptocurrency because it's independent and not under state control. It's not a reserve bank. It is independent, and it's also limited. So that's why they flock to it. So being in cahoots with a state actor is probably going to be the death knell of a crypto. So I don't think Bitcoin wants an endorsement from the U.S. I honestly don't think that. What gets me is that the ANC first got backed by Jewish money. Now they turn against Israel. True? True, true, true. Shows you they're not reliable friends. Update the president executive calls for clarity in refugee policies. 10 days. Immigration authorities have yet. Oh, they're calling for clarity. Oh, did they put something out? Okay, let me do that. Let me go there. Thank you. Okay, so they. God bless it. Google. Sorry, my browser did what it wanted to do. South African. USA. Okay, let's go to the website. Okay, let's see what they got. Okay. Okay. I don't see anything there. Where are you getting that from? I'm on the South African Chamber of Commerce. There's no such statement here. Where are you getting that from? Nothing here. Where are you getting that from? From a Twitter account? It's not on their website. Get a fitness app on your phone, track steps. You should take 7,000 steps. No, you should take 10,000 steps today, Mr. Fark. I will correct that. 10,000 is the minimum you need to get. And I had a fitness app. I was among the very first to have a fitness app. I have a Fitbit, which lasted me for about 12 years, and then the battery died, and I couldn't get the battery fixed, and they stopped making that model. I bought 3 other Fitbits, and they're all shit. It belongs to Google now, and like most things, when Google buys it, it goes to shit. Just like most things that Microsoft buy, it goes to shit. Yeah, so I don't use a Fitbit now. I used to get, I have millions and millions, I've walked around the earth several times, miles racked up on that damn thing over those 12 years. Millions is exaggeration, but a few million miles, a few million steps. Yep. Above was the mail we received from, okay, well, I didn't get an email from them. Interesting. That's interesting they would send you an email, but they don't put it on their website. So the South African Chamber of Commerce, I will write to Neil and ask him for that email. Interesting that they wouldn't do that. Yep. Okay, so gold has a market cap of $12 trillion US. Can't be backed by gold. Not enough gold around because gold. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Gold was a 1-1 ratio, and there's not enough gold to back it. Refugees have saved around 2 million going there. That's not enough characters explained, but so we improvise with. Yeah, no, I got you, SV Analyst. You're right. Rather than immigrate to America, you don't have to spend the money. Patches lived there for a year. House next to where I live. The market for more than a year and not sold yet. Spreading misinformation. I did live there. Patches lived where? You're talking to him. Where'd you live? Okay, just to clear it up, if they want proof of persecution, would my scars and bullet holes? Yes, it would be sufficient, but you don't need proof. Again, I don't know where this stuff is coming from. There's no policy written for South Africans. Until there is, this is all speculation. The only thing someone can go off of is the law and past practice. The law says fear of persecution. It's very clear. Were persecuted, they can demonstrate you were persecuted, or that you fear persecution. You can demonstrate you fear persecution. Yep. And yet, anyway. Ferdy Visser's not leaving. Good for you. Shawnee Gross is here. What question did Arctic ask? Let me go back to Arctic. He asked the question. Chasing around the house with the broom. That was the question that was great. That's funny. Anyway, all right, where are we at here? So 371 people currently here. Okay. All right, cool. All right, I've caught up on the chat now. Leslie's back. Application process next step. Referral required. Applicants must receive referral to consideration. Leslie, where are you getting this from? There's no policy. You're making something up. Where are you getting it from, Leslie? Copied and pasted from what? From USCIS site? Doesn't apply. I don't know where you get that number from, Volmerans. I have no information on that. Yep. Yeah, Leslie, you're wasting your time. That doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. Until they establish the policy. Okay? So it's not really, that's not helpful. Wait until they establish a policy. When the policy comes out, and see, this is what's starting to irritate me because people are, going and reading things, and we don't know. We don't know. These programs come out differently. The way the Afghans came out wasn't by registering with a representative. What you just said, they're not picking on Leslie. What she just said there is factually correct. She went, she got it from, it says, application, next step, referral required. Applicants must receive a referral for consideration. That's not what happened in Afghanistan. They loaded their ass up in the back of C-17s under gunfire and explosions and bombs going off while American soldiers were being murdered out there because of Joe Biden, and they flew to America. There was no referral. There was no application. Half of them didn't have any identification. They were brought here, dumped in our fucking neighborhoods, and given money from our pockets to live in our neighborhoods. There was no application. Every situation is different. There is a process. But every process can be perverted or augmented or changed. That's just how life works. And for people going and reading this stuff, go. Learn all you want about it. Learn how it's all done. Download the application out. Fill it out. Send it into the address at the site and see what happens. Nothing will happen. Maybe you'll have a head start, but nothing will happen until it's all done. Love your show. Do you think the U.S. can investigate the ANC without their permission for crimes they did in their past? We don't need the ANC's permission to investigate them. What do you think I did in the intelligence community? I did intelligence analysis on all kinds of governments. I don't need anyone's permission to study and investigate them. And I'm a historian and political scientist. I investigate them, expose people, and people in my own government all the time. Don't need the ANC's permission. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Maybe I misunderstood. But Biden said Afghanistan was safe. He did, Sharez. He did say it was safe. Yeah, I remember that. What else? Experienced what with H-2A visas? Again, that's not helpful. I don't see other comments from Narina. What did Narina say before this? So I have to go back and find what she said before this. I don't see anything here. What did Rainbow Dragon say? It's honestly sad that people just copy and paste. Just explain it in your own words and provide a source. I know Neil said yesterday he can't see how much the numbers are. Yeah, well, yeah, we don't know. I don't see anything else from that person, Nira. I just see you saying you experienced it with an H-2 visa. What do you experience there? What's not true? Okay, where's this comment? Narina. Okay, U.S. Embassy Pretoria is almost non-existent. What do you mean by that, Narina? What do you mean by that? I've worked with the U.S. Embassy in Pretoria extensively and with the consular section. What do you mean they're non-existent? And oh, by the way, why are you dealing with our embassy in our consular section in Pretoria? Do you live near there? We have a consular section in Durban, Johannesburg. It's on 1 Sandton Drive, not Leila Khalid Drive, 1 Sandton Drive. And we have one in Cape Town. We have 4 consular sections in South Africa that handle services for American citizens and for those who want to come to America. So I'm not sure. Maybe you live near Pretoria, or maybe it services your part of the country, and that's why you went there. But I've worked with the consular section there. I've worked with the embassy there, and I'm not sure what you mean they're non-existent. What does that mean? Did you have a bad experience? Did they make you wait? Is that what you're talking about? Someone else said they had a very different experience there. Everybody has a different experience. Okay. Yeah, speculation. Thank you, Arctic. Thanks, Chris. You are going far and beyond for us South Africans. Really appreciate information. Hats off to you. My wife and I watch your content daily. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Untold Stories. The FD program is still staffing people to work the program. People are working on it due to being an executive work. Yeah, they have to, Briscoe. I don't know who Briscoe is, and I don't have that for a fact, but I know that's probably what's going on because I know how embassies work. The embassies and the consular sections in South Africa are going to be understaffed because this is going to be a huge program and it's going to take work. They're probably going to have to surge and send people over in temporary duty from Washington if they have anybody available just to process things and work in consular sections. And you can't just work in a consular section. You got to be a trusted individual. There's serious background stuff for that. So they can surge and do that, but they're probably going to have to send people over to handle this. You have to have people to do interviews, have to know the policy, have to understand things, look for the frauds that are trying to get in under the wire. So a lot going on here. By the way, I should tell you folks, I've been in severe abdominal pain since I sat down here 3 hours ago, but I've been pushing through. That's why I was drinking Coca-Cola instead of Starbucks. I was hoping the acid would solve the problem, but I've been in a lot of pain tonight. 10 million Doge uncovered, Mozambique for male circumcision. No, well, yeah, JJ, that's not a surprise. I spent money on male circumcision in Botswana. Yeah, No, studies have proven that circumcision is a major role in reducing the transmission of HIV through unprotected sex. It does. And so we promoted circumcision, PEPFAR did, throughout Africa, Botswana, and we paid for it. Yep, that's not a surprise. That's not fraud, waste, or abuse. That's a sanctioned, approved program by Congress. There's a lot of stuff that DOJ is fighting, but that's not bad. Okay. Love to see you having a chat with Neil DeBeer. Well, James Duvall, again, I've had lots of chats with Neil DeBeer. Neil DeBeer has been a frequent guest on my program. I'm the only person that took his party seriously in the media when he announced it at his campaign for the 2024 elections, which was started in February or March of 2022, or 2023, excuse me, 2023. I was in Tygerberg Valley and was at the launch and covered it. There were a couple local papers, but no national media there. I covered it, and Neil took it seriously. So Neil DeBeer has been on my program numerous times, and Neil was just on the program, in fact. He was on here on January 30th, and we talked about expropriation. He was here on September 18th. He was here on May 5th of last year, November of 2023. And in between, I've met with Neil every time I've gone to South Africa. Neil has made sure I got press credentials for the multi-party charter. I met Neil there. I interviewed him there. The one question I made, unlike the rude reporters in South Africa who said, let me ask my question. They asked 4 questions. It's asinine. I said, well, let me ask my one question. I asked Neil DeBeer. I want to ask John Steenhuisen something, and I asked Neil DeBeer a question instead. So, yeah, no, Neil and I have good conversations. So, yeah, just do a search on my channel and find the videos. Yep. Good decision not going there. Plenty unemployed, very low salaries, plenty hidden to make it look good until you get there. I live there. Orania has lots in fighting that's hidden. Oh, Patches, you lived in Orania. Thank you for sharing that. Is the U.S. dollar backed by gold or oil? Neither, Brett. It's not backed by either. It's backed by the good faith and confidence of the United States. Mary is back. She says, I'm so hot full of listening. Steenhuisen is saying that Sakalika is spreading information he is supposed to be representing his voters. Yeah, I hear you. In Namibia, the Ovambo tribe, Ovambo, it's Ovambo, you spelled it wrong, practice circumcision is cultural. You are correct. The Ovambo do that, if I'm not mistaken. Watch Chris Spangen on Trump rebuff South Africa's request to lecture him. Yep. Momin, do you perhaps have an email? I would like to ask you something that I'm not able to ask publicly. Momin, that's fine. The email's there. I don't know if one of the mods can put it up, put the email up. But please understand, I'm way behind on emails. I've only answered a handful of those emails because I'm getting hundreds of them. So I apologize. I'll get them as quickly as I can, but I have lots of responsibilities. This is just one aspect of my life. And people are always worried about me getting sleep because I'm on air all the time. Imagine all the other responsibilities. I have the Veterans Organization. Today I was interviewed to be a board member for a veterans charity that provides free dental care for veterans. We discussed this during my interview today to be a board member. They're going to forward my name onto the board for consideration, but apparently a lot of people, that's fine. I don't mind not doing it, but I'm happy to do it. We talked about veterans, and they said the average savings for a veteran who doesn't have resources for dental care is $3,300, but they had one veteran who got $66,000 of free dental care from charities. South African Chamber of Commerce has nothing to do with the refugee program, correct? Yep. Come visit me for Shabbat. Okay. Javon, it's interesting. I think I know almost every Jew in South Africa since there's so few left. Jan van Driel, what if you've never been vaccinated for COVID? Where'd that go? Come on, where'd it go? Come on, come back here. Okay, that was after this. There it is. Will be a problem? No. This administration doesn't force people to take experimental vaccines. They don't do that. There's no requirement to prove you've been vaccinated for COVID to come to America. Not true. Doesn't matter. What do they ask in the interview normally? Anik Fanid, I've never participated in a refugee interview. I'm not a refugee. I'm not a consular officer. I can tell you that I know when my sponsored soldiers for training in America or Germany would send back or interviewed, they're asked basic questions. It's basically to make sure people aren't economic refugees, but that's for a visa. That's not for refugee status. I'm not sure what they're going to ask you. They're probably going to ask you why you feel persecuted or have you been persecuted, and go from there. They'll ask you if you're a criminal. If you're a convicted criminal for a serious offense, you're not going to come to America, and they'll check on you. Zondo Commission cost us $1 billion. Seems like they're not doing anything about it. Well, it's not the Zondo Commission's job to do anything about it. It's Ramaphosa's job to do something about it, and the Department of Justice, and they're not going to do it. And that's why the DA getting no control of any of the security cluster shows just how weak and feckless they are. The DA went into a coalition agreement when they held all the cards. The ANC would not form a coalition with MK. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Case closed. Don't even think for a second. Jacob Zuma wants to eat the ANC from inside, and they know that. They're not going to let him join them, so that never would have happened. That would have given them 56% of the vote, but not enough. Not going to happen. So the EFF, a possibility, but highly unlikely. Julius Malema is a convenient foil on the outside and would be useless on the inside and would try to undermine the ANC in a coalition. So the ANC is not going to go in a national coalition with the EFF except out of desperation, highly unlikely. That would give them about 49% of the vote. Still not enough. They'd still need a small party. So the DA held all the cards here. They had 21% of the vote. The ANC had 40%. That's 61%, a clear majority. The DA could have and should have demanded ministries in the security cluster or the Department of Justice or, finance ministry. They didn't get any of that. Police, military, the intelligence services, Treasury, Foreign Affairs, all belong to the ANC. All the real power in South Africa, all the power of coercion and control of the economy rests in the ANC's hands. And the DA got the scraps. They got the ministries that are broken, like Home Affairs and Agriculture, that needed real attention. And agriculture is not even agriculture, but used to include land reform. They've given that to the freaking communist. They give that to that idiot in charge of that, is in charge of that. So it's not even there. So it's a joke. The DA walked into a negotiation where they held all the cards and walked out with their tail between their legs and got nothing. And then told their voters, we must do this for the good of South Africa. We're focused on job creation. How are you focused on job creation? You don't control the Ministry of Finance. You don't control the levers of industry. That's all controlled by the ANC. What exactly are you doing to get job creation there, John Boy? What are you doing for that? Where's Helen Zilla? Why is she so silent? Not saying a damn thing. Where has she disappeared to? Coke can take a break. The pain will worsen if you keep going. South Africa won't burn me out, Emery. Thank you, Emery. Yeah, so I don't know, Anik. I got a little bit off your questions with the ask the interview. I can only speculate. I don't know. I'm fine. 10 minutes. Wow. No, it's not a problem like that. Look, I've had a serious abdomen problem before. It was a gallstone. I nearly died from it. Suzanne von Furen, I'm sorry, I did not know about Neil until recently. Yes, I was living under a rock and in denial. Well, a lot of people don't like Neil. I'm upfront about this, and I got a lot of grief from Sightlanders who didn't like the fact I interviewed Neil. Get over it. I interview people. And people don't like him because he betrayed South Africa under the old regime. People don't like him because he betrayed the ANC. Whatever. Neil is an older man now who's overcome cancer, and now he's got another bout of cancer, and he's focused on trying to do something good. You can believe that. You can believe he's a charlatan. That's your view. He can't fix that. All I can do is tell you what he's going to do, and all I can tell you is that publicly the things he's done since he formed a political party have been for the betterment of South Africans. Whether you like him or not, that's what he's done. Whether you believe in his motives or not, that really isn't germane. I'm not defending Neil de Beer. I'm not attacking Neil de Beer. I'm being objective about Neil de Beer. And, yep, so there you go. Circumcision is mutilation with consequences. The minimum, it lowers pleasure. Oh, no. It doesn't lower pleasure. It actually enhances pleasure. Can even cause skewed penis and, although rare, infertility. Never heard of infertility coming from circumcision. Now, how can you cause infertility if you perform a circumcision? That's not possible. You're not touching the vas deferens. You're not touching the sperm cords. You're not touching anything. How does it cause infertility? Neil Kruger had a question. Have you ever spoken to Steve Hofmeyr? Yes, once again, please, folks, please check my channel. Now, the original interview is on the first channel that was censored and I got restored. So actually, the original I put in March of 2023, after this channel came back, I put the old channel came back. I put the Steve Hofmeyr interview. So let's go there. Okay, and this is my interview with Steve Hofmeyr from 2020. So, and this is a picture of Steve and I singing at Velbedoct. Hello again, folks. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania. About 2.5 years ago, I got the opportunity to interview South African actor, performer, musician, artist Steve Hofmeyr on my original channel, which had been around since 2006 and then was maliciously targeted and then removed in April of 2021, 15 years later, or thereabouts. Well, one of the things I was most upset about there is that the interview with Steve Hofmeyer from the 7th of August 2020 disappeared along with my channel. Of course, I was angry about losing a channel with 23,000 subscribers that I had grown from just 2 in about 5 months' time. It seemed rather unfair. Well, I appealed that decision, and I was told to foot-sec that they just ignored me. Whoever's working at YouTube didn't even listen to my appeal. I waited 6 months and tried it again. I got the same reaction, except this time it was more like, well, you waited too long. Of course, we all know that that stuff sits on YouTube servers. So, and the proof in that is the fact that my channel was actually removed for a video that didn't exist. I had deleted a video that had conformed to community standards, and then they changed community standards and actually forgot about the video. But after receiving a second malicious strike, which once again wasn't for anything I actually broke the rules on, but just false reporting, and then I was ignored when I appealed it. After getting the second strike, out of 1,300 or 1,700 videos, I deleted 43 that were even remotely cheeky or might even come close to scratching the community standards. I did that. And then a month later, my channel was deleted for a video that didn't exist. Proof that everything still sits on their servers. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to find the video and take my channel away. But after Donald Trump's channel was restored, I made another effort a couple of nights ago and appealed the decision. And 23 months after my original channel was removed, it was restored last night. And I discovered that this morning. The first thing I did after getting back into my studio was to go to the video of the interview with Steve Hofmeyer and download it. And now, courtesy of the restoration of my channel, even if it gets taken away again, I now have, once again, the 2-hour and 7-minute interview. It's about 2 hours with Steve Hofmeyer. It was an incredible interview, great experience, and Steve is a heck of a guy. He's reviled by many people, but loved by many others. And the reality is that most people don't really know the guy. And the character that you see in the media is not Steve Hofmeyer. What I have to say is that he's an incredibly warm and wonderful person. And yes, I'm a little bit biased, having interviewed him a couple of times, been in touch with him very much over the past 3 years, having had a braai at his house, and then him coming to a friend's house having a braai, as well as Steve surprising me at his concert in Velbedocht when he called me up on stage. And that was quite an amazing experience here in February of 2023. And had me sing the Ballad of the Green Beret with him. That was pretty incredible. I would play that song for you, but I would get a copyright strike. So I'll just show you little snippets of it, and we'll get started. Here you go, folks. Once again, from August 7th, 2020, an interview that stands the test of time. Steve Hofmeyer on the Indaba Conversation with Chris. Thanks a lot for your support and your patronage. Stick with us on both channels, please. Cheers. Hey, Steve.
Yes, sir. Chris, I'm on. How's it going?
It's great. Steve Hofmeyer. Hoe gaat het?
Het gaat baie goed. Thank you for asking, sir. It's good to meet you in person. Listen, I'm an old soldier. I'd like to call you Colonel. I want to call you Colonel all the time. But you can tell me I can call you Chris. It'll be great.
No, that's great. I was going to bring that up, too. You served in the old South African Defense Force back in the early 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was 83, 84. Our war was basically at that stage in Angola, between Southwest Africa and Angola. Today it's Namibia.
So, oh my goodness. Okay, sorry, the mic is off. Sorry, yeah, I turned it off so there wasn't reverb there. Yeah, so that was from that was a restored video plus an introduction from 2 years ago, but the original video is from 2020. Steve was on the road and he called in, and we've never done an interview since then. I've talked to Steve. I've had braais with Steve. Every time I go to South Africa, he warmly welcomes me. I've been to his home. He moved. I've been to his new home. Yeah, lovely person. We've had lunch together. Great guy. And I've asked occasionally for him to come back on, but he doesn't come back on. He's kind of shied away from that. But yeah, he's a good guy, and I think he's very misrepresented by a lot of people. So, Africa, did I miss what your answer to what's your USA investment business question? I don't understand. I must have missed it because I didn't see that. Yeah, Delaney said Steve mentioned he follows my channel. He does. Steve Hofmeyer comments on my videos periodically, which is pretty cool. Yep. So sorry about that. I got the time. I turned it off because that's, when I don't have this pop filter on here, I can see the color. Like you see the blue, I can see all that. But the problem is that now that I use this pop filter, which is actually helpful. Hang on. The pop filter, I don't see the color necessarily. See how it's kind of hidden there? So I sometimes forget that I've got the mic turned off. So yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, well, that was nothing. You should have seen it was under my navel. That was when it was already getting trimmed back. Yeah. Vat Vastai TV show intro song, Teeny. Huh? You're on fire today. Nick Crows, what Nick say? Okay. Victor Fundavat, welcome. Don't apologize. Would you just join? Thanks for being here. Yeah, thanks guys. No sound. Got it. Mic is off. Mic is off. Boy, you guys came quick on that. You fired. You got no sound because I turned it off. He's old, folks. Easy, Arctic. You're gonna get a PK. Have a good day, everyone. Chris, look after yourself and thank you for your awesome. You're very welcome, Carrie. Thanks for being here. Anyone? Where are we at here? If Steve could have heard what I had to say, he would be in a different place today. I tried giving advice that would have helped him. My voice drowned in the crowd, like you with Trump. Okay, Mickey, thanks. Steve's stream and asked to be interviewed again. Oh, yeah, there you go, Anne-Marie. Go on Steve's Monday stream and say, hey, please go on Chris Wyatt again. And look, we don't have to talk politics. I can just talk Steve. We can just, tell Steve that. Tell Steve, go on Chris's program. We don't have to talk politics. Just have a Lekka conversation. We'll talk about music and about South Africa and about Afrikaners. Yeah. Yeah. Do that. Go bomb Steve. Make him feel guilty and come on the program. Because now with this huge audience I have and the number of subscribers, we probably have a massive turnout for Steve. Yeah, Andre, I don't guess how many kids he has. I know 4 of them. Okay, since you asked about, okay, why are we talking about Jews? Knock it off here. That's not the conversation topic here. Okay, yeah, I have a filter. Trust me. What I really want to say, I hold back on a lot of things. All right. Okay, guys. It has been 3 hours and 7 minutes. There's 371 people still here. I want to thank you all for being here. I'm going to wrap it up here. And you guys have a good evening. Thank you for your support. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not going to cover the budget speech. I'm going to go get some rest and sleep. But before I do that, I'm probably going to prepare a video tonight, which means I'll be up for another hour, probably till after 3 a.m. before I go to bed. And I'll be up by 7 or 8. And then I'll get ready for Franz Kronia, who's on in the morning. Okay, and after Franz Kronia, we'll go to Wednesdays with the Colonel on Ronaldo Chut's channel. And then I've got my radio show tomorrow night. So Elon is single-handedly solving Western fertility problems. He is. You guys take care. God bless. Thanks for your support. Thanks for the super chats came in, for the new members, and also for the 3,520 people who tuned in during this live stream. Michelle Martinish, you're very welcome. Okay, and you guys take care. Have a good one. Take care, folks. And I'm looking for my closing credits. There they are.